After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Kurt did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's your guy, Kings and Dreams, back again, man. Had a great live stream yesterday. And for those of y'all who didn't check out the live stream yesterday, we talked about dating in Brazil. And we still going to keep it on Latin America, man. And one of the countries that I've always wanted to go to, it was on my bucket list, but you know, depending on how this conversation goes, I think it may go higher on my bucket list. So I'm very intrigued to have this conversation, man. So a friend of mine, a friend of the channel, my man, Big Boss, Real Talk. We're going to get right into it. What's going on, Big Boss?
Oh, man. Shout out to Kings and Dreams.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me on, my guy.
Hey, man, I definitely appreciate it, man. Big Boss and I, we were talking briefly, privately in the back, and so Big Boss had gave me a congratulations. No, I wasn't gonna say.
Oh yeah,
no, but Big Boss had congratulated.
Block for Eminem.
Oh, you thought I was gonna throw the haymakers? No. But Big Boss actually congratulated me on my 5K subscribers, right? And and one of the reasons why I'll always do collaborations with Big Boss Real Talk is because I think I had maybe 150, 200 subscribers, when I actually first met Big Boss. And Big Boss, I think he was at 1,000 or he was just about to hit 1,000. Nonetheless, Big Boss had gave me an opportunity, right? And so I think that it's important for content creators to understand, when you have someone that is willing to give you an opportunity, you always want to maintain that relationship. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that, you can have someone that may have 500,000 that may give you an opportunity. Even if I have 5,000, shout out to my man, Austin Holloman. He just hit 140K, but that's one of my very good friends. You know what I mean? And he gave me an opportunity. So I just wanted to give you that shout out, you know what I mean? Because I would not have hit that 5K subscribers. And now I'm trying to hit 10 before December 31st. You know what I mean? So,
Run it up.
Give you that shout out, brother.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I take all my flowers, man. Give me my flowers now. But
yes, sir.
That's some real stuff. Them were the days, man. A couple years back, I remember I kept having you on the show, pushing you and promoting you, trying to get you to at least 500 subscribers because YouTube had just changed it where 500 subscribers, you can have a community tab.
No, it was at 300.
Oh, it was at 300?
Yeah. So once I got 300, I was able to use the community tab. And actually, so another thing, you're the one who actually showed me how to use the community tab because when it first popped up, I was like, hey, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
Now you telling all the business now, but yeah, but thank you for your honesty and transparency, and that's what it's about growth. And what you said is a real thing. And shout out to Austin Holloman, man. I saw him again in person, real life, just last year for October in Africa, Nairobi. Shout out to Austin, hit 140. But it's something what you said, it's just a YouTuber can have 500,000, right? So I want to give a shout out to Check in Effect. He's out here in the Bay Area. He's in San Francisco. Yesterday, he came out to Oakland. I swooped him up, and I hung out with Check in Effect. I took him around the town so he can get some footage. I even played this cameraman, and I hung out with Check and Effect for a few hours. So and he has 530,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Check and Effect, man. Yeah, keeping those relationships and maintaining those relationships are very important, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even outside of YouTube, and before we, kind of get into it, but even outside of YouTube and just kind of like in our everyday life, you know what I mean? Someone that, gives you a helping hand, you always got to be humble and appreciate that, man. So, I will always appreciate that. And you are a friend of mine, and you are a friend of the channel, man, for sure.
Oh man, all right, let's get to it, man. Enough niceties. Appreciate you.
He's like, all right, let's get all the emotions out.
Right.
Yes, sir. So as I mentioned, right, Peru has been on a list of the countries that I wanted to visit, and I would say it was maybe in my top 20, so in this conversation with you, and then I also saw some videos of Austin there last year. I think it was last year or the year before last. So I saw a couple of videos, and I'm like, okay, it started to move up in my mind, but I definitely want to hear from you in this conversation. So first question is, why Peru? What made you pick Peru?
All right. Well, this is real talk. So, all honesty, the reason I actually pulled the trigger and booked for Peru when I did, which is just a few months back, early this year in February, I went to Peru mostly to do a link up with Razor Rays, because Razor Rays was already going to Lima, Peru. He was promoting it on his channel, and Razor Rays was going to Lima, Peru. And like you, I did have Lima, Peru somewhere on the bucket list. I don't know if it was around 20, but it was kind of down there. It was at least past 10.
Right.
Because, a few other YouTubers so far have been to Lima. I hear about the food and things like that. So when Razor Ray said he was going, I said, why not? So that's kind of the main reason I went, man. And so I went, and Razor Rays didn't show.
Oh, come on, Double R.
Yeah, he left Bossy Boss hanging. So it was only a short trip, right? So I'm glad for that. That trip was only 5 or 6 days. I think 5 nights, 6 days. It was less than a week, about 5 or 6 days, and it was cool, man. And the Lima, Peru, Lima is divided up into zones. So they have a Mega Plaza, they have Lince, and they have Metaflores, where a lot of the tourists stay. So we'll get into that a little later and break it all down. But I mostly booked at the time was to do a link up with Rays. But once I was there, I was glad I was there. It was a good experience. It was a vibe.
Gotcha. Yeah. So let's kind of talk about the zones, because it kind of reminds me of Colombia, how they got the estratos. So you have the estratos 1 being the hood, and then estrato 6, which is 6, being the best, right? So
right.
Yeah. So walk me through the zone. So what zone did you stay in?
So I actually ended up staying in one of the hood zones, right?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So the zone I stayed
unknowingly.
Knowingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, knowingly.
Okay.
So this one was Mega Plaza Independencia. Now, one reason why I was confident to stay there, one of my homies, who's not a YouTuber, but he's a buddy of mine in the WhatsApp group. He was there. I had 2 buddies who went to Lima, Peru, and they both stayed in the same area.
Okay.
And one of the guys gave me the actual hotel that he stayed in. So again, that's a benefit to being in these groups, these WhatsApp groups. Even though sometimes you got to deal with a lot of BS with these guys in the groups, the main thing about the groups is the sharing of information. So these guys, they stayed in that area. They were there for a week or 2. They gave me video footage, told me where to stay, how to move. So I was cool. So the area I stayed in was Mega Plaza Independencia.
Okay. I got you. So like you were able to kind of get like the lay of the land. So this way you felt comfortable, even though Double R didn't pull up. Double R, I don't know why you didn't pull up, but come on, man, you just left Bossy there on the island, bro. Come on,
Left
man.
me hanging, man. Oh man.
Yeah, but that's cool. I think that I think that like when it comes to these groups, whether it be Facebook, WhatsApp, or what have you, we have the sharing of the information. So this way someone can say, okay, I've been in Lima, Peru. I stayed in this area, stayed in this hotel, this is where, if you need to get this, or if you need to go to, the drugstore, whatever, get some toiletries, or if, you're looking for food or whatever, so that's cool. So my next question is that, how long is the flight though from Oakland?
Yeah. Again. So yeah, and you clarify from Oakland because my flight is going to be different from your flight
Right.
or somebody's flight that's in Texas or Florida, right?
Yeah.
We all stay in different parts of the country, so it's going to be different. But my experience, my flight was, I want to say, it was 2 legs, and it wasn't super long, but it was similar to a Brazil, or longer. So one of the legs was like 6 hours.
Okay.
And then the other leg was like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. So we're still looking at about a 10-hour flight.
Okay.
And then, depending on your layover. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's not too bad, I would assume, because I know like when you're flying from the West Coast to Latin America, right? Like it's that's a bit of a hike, right? And I know flying from the West Coast, if you're flying to Asia, it's not so bad as opposed
so
to
bad.
guys like either from the South or from the Northeast where I'm from. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's going to take a lot longer, right? So, you got to
us West Coast guys, we got the Pacific Ocean, right? Pacific Ocean, Hawaii, boom. Yeah, so we got a straight shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so you said that you stayed there about 5 or 6 days, and so when you got there, what was like the first thing that you noticed about like the lay of the land,
It really reminded me of Colombia.
Oh, okay.
If I would have closed my eyes and spun around and clicked my heel 3 times and opened my eyes back up, I would have thought I was in Colombia.
What part?
What part of Colombia?
Yeah.
Probably a hood part of Colombia that a lot of guys don't go to, Bogota. Now, so yes, the part remember, I'm talking hood to hood. So
right. Yeah,
the Mega Plaza Independencia in Lima, Peru zone remind me of a lot of Bogota, Colombia. So not so much of Medellin when you up in the hills, right? You got all those high rises and them brown brick high rises in the middle of the hills.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, more flatland. There's a lot of like old looking type buildings and structures and houses. Yeah, it had like a Bogota vibe. Obviously, everything is Spanish. I got by. My Spanish is almost non-existent, and yet somehow I just kind of survived.
Yeah. Now, were there a lot of English speakers there in general, or not really?
Not really.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
There were a few, like there were bare minimal to make it, like bare minimal, and not a lot. Okay. And so the translator is your friend. Memorize some key phrases. If you're kind of like, on a robot type of thing where you're only like doing certain things, you're getting the same thing, you're doing the same thing, you memorize the phrase. If you got your translator handy, then you get lucky, you bump into one person speaking English, So I was able to make it, but no, it's not a lot of English speaking in the area I was at. Now, if I would have went to the Flores, the Miraflores area, that's where tourists are supposed to go. You're directed to go to the Miraflores.
Okay.
There's more English speaking. The infrastructure is a little newer, nicer. So I chose to go to the hood in Mega Plaza, and it wasn't a lot of English, but it's good in the hood.
Gotcha. Now, so like, what was like the feedback when when you arrived? Like, was it like a warm reception due to the fact that like you're not in the tourist area, so you're with like all of the locals?
Right. It was a trip. It was a cool feeling. It wasn't even weird or nothing. Shout out to them. It's like the people, they just kind of rock out. They kind of, I got a look or two. They notice me, and then they keep going. And then, what I got, the vibe I got, people was like amused that I was there. They kind of like a self chuckle at me. It's like, look at this Negro. Look at this Negro American here, and it was cool. It was a cool little vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was no static, and I stuck out like a sore thumb. I literally the only one. Like normally, I hear they do have some Afro Peruvian type thing, but I didn't really see a lot of those, at least on the street. But when I went to one establishment, and if you want to talk about it, certain establishments later,
yes, we gonna get there.
Okay. When we get to establishments, and one of the establishments, so-called, they had a lot of different ethnicities, but they were there working. You know what I'm saying? But in the area I was at, I was the only one. I was the only Black American I seen, period.
Mm-hmm.
And the English speaking was almost non-existent, but yet I floated through like a shark, and everybody left me alone. They were amused I was there. It was a trip.
Gotcha. So now, being in the, so being like in the, in the hood, like, did you feel safe there? Because I know that you said like, guys in the WhatsApp group gave you the lay of the land, but like, actually physically being there, like, did you feel safe? Yes. And then
Yes.
also at nighttime as well.
Yeah. Both. I actually did both. Especially daytime. That area, man, the area I was in, I would say is over policed, right? They had so many polices on top of polices. It was ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I guess that begs the question, why so many police, right? So that area was overly policed. The police on foot, walking 2x2s, police on motorcycles. It was a lot of police. So I felt safe. And then the area I was in was, a lot of shops, bars, businesses, a lot of regular people just walking around. I just feel safe. I feel safe in general. One, because I'm a big guy and can handle myself. I normally feel safe in general. So it's a trip. I'm not going to sit here and cap like that. I never felt the way in any country in all my years of traveling. But normally, if I start to feel unsafe, then it's probably a real problem, because I normally feel safe in general. But to answer your question, so I was there at Mega Plaza. I was there with the locals, very little English speaking, the only Black American. I still felt safe. I felt fine.
Gotcha. I do see super chat, but let me ask Big Boss a couple of questions, and then I'll jump into the chat real quick. So my next question is that what would you say? Because you did mention like the food. So what was the feedback about the food, and then give me your own personal feedback about the food.
Yeah, well, the feedback is accurate. So one of the upsides, plus sides of Lima, Peru, what people talk about is their food. I guess from the seasoning. I mean, I'm not the biggest foodie, but I always say it's only so many ways to cook chicken, to cook beef, to cook this and that. And unless they invent, like a new animal, you're eating the same thing, right? But again, some people really know how to get down and just cook it differently with their spices and spice it up. And so yeah, the beef that I was eating there, the meals I was eating there, the food in Lima, Peru was very good. I would say close to Brazil level.
Mm.
I might be a little biased. You know, I'm a big Brazil guy. And Brazil has very good food, especially the meats, if you're a meat eater. You know, Brazilian steakhouse. You know, Brazilians are big on the meats. But the Lima Peru knows how to season their stuff very well. So the food was very good.
Well, that's good to know. And you know, as much as you guys know, I'm Team Medi. A lot of Medi, they do not know how to season the food, man.
At all. I hear it gets better in Cartagena, but I never been.
Yeah, so yeah, because what Cartagena, because you know, you got you got some of this here, you know what I mean? So that Cali, Santa Marta. So yeah, like they put in Barakia as well. Like they'll put seasoning in the food, and you know what I mean. So Medellin is mainly Eurocentric, so it's bland. Hey, listen, I love Medellin.
Bogota too. I know I love Bogota, but I don't care for their food.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Yeah, you know, a quick segue. Brazil is growing on me. So I've been to Brazil twice. So Brazil is growing on me.
Oh wow, you have? I didn't. You snuck 2 times in?
2 times in, yes.
Wow.
Brazil is growing on me. I got a lot more to explore, but
Big Boss Breaks. We going back to 2021, 22. Big Boss Breaks. Big Boss taking over for like 3 minutes, interviewing you. How do you like Brazil, man?
So let me tell you, right, and so for those of you all who were at the live stream last night, I see my man Jamie Woods. He was actually on the panel. Well, you know, one of the things that I like about Brazil is that like the people are very energetic, right? Very energetic and just like really cool. So like if you're, you know, like if you're cool with them, they'll introduce you to cool people, you know, and it's just like a vibe, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, bro, you know what I mean? Like, your fam, I'm gonna bring you around my fam and we're all gonna have a good time. And it's like they don't really care about like money. Really. Like what they care about is just having a good time, you know what I mean? Listening to some music, having some, I don't want to say cervezas. I don't know how you say it in Portuguese. But beers, you know what I mean? Some beers and, just some food. Like I went to a cookout. That there was a homegirl of mine I met out there, and so she brought me out to a cookout, and it was just really cool. Like I met like so many cool people. I met like doctors and lawyers, and like they look like, I'm not saying doctors and lawyers don't look like regular people, but like I would not expect some of these people to actually be like doctors and lawyers.
Right.
Not like in a bad way, but it's just like I was just like, holy shit, like like super tatted up, and I'm like, yo, like you're a lawyer? I'm like, they cool with that over here? So yeah, it's just it was just very interesting, man. Because like with Colombia, people are more like kind of chill, calm, laid back. And you'll have some people like that'll turn up, but the main vibe is they're really chill and laid back. Brazil is more
conservative.
Yes, conservative.
And Brazil is open. They're expressive.
Yes,
they kiss you. Now you see why Austin liked it so much, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, and I'll say what I said last night. I said that I said Colombia. I'm still a Colombia guy. But Brazil is starting to tug on that cape, man. So
oh yeah, it's gonna take it. It's gonna take it.
I'm still
bye Colombia.
Absolutely, man.
I say this now. Obviously, this is not true 1,000% of the time. I get it, but this theory is generally true. A lot of people's favorite place is because they haven't went to another place. A lot of people's favorite place is because they haven't yet went to another place.
That's true.
And I'm going to leave that alone. And I really mean that for all the guys who are still stuck on the DR Sasua. They're stuck on DR because they haven't went to a Brazil.
Yeah.
Or, they haven't even went to a Colombia, right?
Yep.
People stuck on Colombia like a king with a dream because he haven't went to Brazil. So, and that's not even talk Thailand, right? Way across the world. So a lot of people's favorite place is only because they haven't yet been exposed to another place. So I test your theory, man. That's what I'm saying. We gotta use these passports. We gotta experience different places, and then we can have that conversation. If you get stuck going to the same place 15 times, yeah, you're eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich all the time. You never had a steak sandwich, so But I digress.
No, you know what? That is an excellent point. You know what I mean? Because I think all of us we're creatures of habit, right? You know what I mean? And I'll even hold my own feet to the fire, right? Because the thing is that like I went to Colombia, Flyboy and we went February of 2020. Literally right before the whole pandemic and shit hit the fan, right? And then so then I came back. So first time I went to Medellin, this was September of 2020, and it just reminded me so much of New York and creatures of habit. I'm from New York, right? So like, oh, this looks like New York, Santa Fe Mall. I'm like, yo, the malls are better than in the States. I'm like, yo, like the infrastructure, everything. And I'm seeing the metro, New York City, like, yo, you see big ass rats like fucking Spalding basketballs and shit. You know what I mean? So hey, listen, I love my city, but I'm gonna keep it real. Them rats are huge. So then you get on the metro in Medellin, and like the subway is clean and wow, okay.
It is. I wrote it. It is.
Right. So all of that, right? And so, and then not to mention, I was with a young lady for for about 3 years.
You were.
So add that into the mix. Then I, rented my property. Then I purchased my property. So I was pretty much like stuck in this proverbial bubble, so to speak. You know what I mean? And so now, like I'm branching out. Like actually, the week before 4th of July, I'm actually going to a place, undisclosed location. I'll tell you in private, but undisclosed location, a new location that a lot of guys haven't spoken about. But I'm starting to spread my horizons more, right? You know what I mean? Because I was, I was in this bubble, and I'll keep it a bean. I'll keep it a bean. I was in this bubble. So
a lot of guys are in that bubble because why? We're creatures of habit. And then too, let's keep it a buck. When we're spending money and our money is on the line, and it's time to really spend our money and book a flight, you kind of want to spend your money on a sure thing and a guarantee.
Right.
You've been to this place, you might have been 15 times, but you know what you're getting when you go here. When you go to this new place, you kind of don't know. You only have most guys, you only have so much time off work, so much vacation time, so much PTO, so much limited finite money saved up. You want to get the best bang for your buck. So you know what? Play it safe. I'm going right back.
Right.
Instead of going to a new spot for a new experience. So yeah, guys just gotta experience the world, man. And oh man.
No, absolutely. I completely agree. So let me just jump into some of these comments, Big Boss, real quick, and then I have some more questions for you, Big Bro.
Got it.
All right. Shout out to my man Tev King for the $10 super chat. He says, hit that like button, fellas. It invites others into the chat. Absolutely. Likes are free, 99. It helps with the engagement. So definitely likes are free, 99. My man Garden Scientist says Kings and Dreams. Jay Mees is in the building, says you're Apex Traveler says Big Boss about that real talk. Absolutely. Westner got smoke for Kings. Listen, man, you can't bring smoke to a chimney, man.
Man.
Shout out to Kings and Dreams and the guests. Oh, let's see. I was on Primo a little while ago. Yeah, he just started going off. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? The thing about it is, man, You give a drunk a bottle, you know what I mean, and he'll
Man,
talk, he'll drink and talk to anyone who will listen, dog. 8 Mile.
fact.
Let's
8
see.
Mile, Eminem.
Love Entertainment TV. Wow, yo, bro, I haven't seen you in a while. What is going on, my guy? Yes, sir. Way to show love, man. Yeah, see, yeah, he was there. He was there in front of the beginning. I remember, dude, yo.
Yeah, that's T Love from
Yes,
O.
T Love. Yes.
T-Love.
Patrick Moody. Big Mike. Salute Kings. Tell Big Boss I just got back from Kenya. Had the best time of my life. I will go back to Africa again in July.
In July, back to back.
That's what's up.
You just got back, and you're going back in July.
He's spinning the block. He's spinning the block. Yes. Who is this one? I don't know who this young lady is, but okay. I think that might be one of your subs, bro.
I don't recognize it. She can be though. Hello. And I'm talking about. Oh man, I'm still the bossy boss. Oh man.
Oh, hey, I hear you. Jesse Shorts, Kaboo. Guess who stepped in the room? Big Boss in Lima. Oh, is Lima worth a visit? You want to answer that now, or do you want to hang on?
We can.
It's up to you, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. I would say yes. It is worth a visit, if nothing else, to get out of that rut of going to the same places all the time. There's a lot, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of other extra things. I was kind of singly focused, but there are things to do. Again, the food is great. Everything there is relatively cheap. Their money is the soul, and it's something like 100, like the breakdown for like 100 souls is 30 US, and so things there are relatively cheap. One thing is interesting in Lima, Peru. Someone told me this, and then I saw when I got there. In immigration, when you get to the airport, you don't get a stamp for it. And really? that's a little whack because I kind of like my stamps, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't even stamp you.
Really?
Yeah. The weirdest thing.
So like so there's not so like does this say like how long you can be like in the country for? Because like typically I would say like the average is usually like 180 days. So like
or 120 days, 90 days.
Yeah, 90 days, 180 days. Yeah, like 3 to 6 months, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you would have to look that up online, the information that's out there. They know most people when they come through are not automatically staying there 5 and 6 months, right? They do ask you like, why are you here? And I think they do, if I remember correctly, they ask like, how long do you plan to stay? What brings you here? Business or pleasure? How long are you going to stay? And then enjoy yourself and get your passport back without even a stamp. Now, that being said, they're typing in the computer, so it's logged, right?
Yeah.
It's logged in their government data bank, but they don't give you a stamp on your passport. I said, oh, man. But I guess it's a good thing is less space, You start running out of space in them damn passports, but yeah, Lima they don't even stamp you. So yeah, it's cool, man. Lima is cool. It's a vibe. It's absolutely worth the visit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got 34 people in here, but if one of you guys or ladies, who are watching, if someone in the chat could actually find out like what is the initial stay for going to Lima, Peru, I'm curious about that. If you could do that for Big Boss and I. Shout out to Yoga was in the chat yesterday. Shout out to you, my brother. Definitely appreciate you pulling up 2 nights in a row. Let's see here. Mr. Outside. Hey, never mind you. Got the 411.
I did. And thank you, Mr. Outside, looking in. Mike S. from Ohio.
My YouTube brothers, salute. Glad to see the collab again. My man Tripping with Jay. Yo, guys, do me a favor. Make sure that you guys check out my man Tripping with Jay channel. I don't know if you knew this, Big Boss, but he was actually on Pop the Balloon.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was at that point. I was still in that particular WhatsApp group when he went on. Before he went on and after he got out. So yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. All right. To trip to Peru when I was married in 2005 and 2011. Wonderful time in Lima. Definitely salute to you. Let's see here. Yoga. Stop hating on Tua, bossy. Oh man.
They hate on themselves, man. They hate on themselves.
Oh boy.
Man. Shout out to the island though.
Okay. Never say I'm gatekeeping Cuba and Mubasa. I don't care. Yeah,
you know what? I gotta hit both of those.
Yeah, you would like Cuba for a multitude of reasons, man. And we go get into that a little bit later. But you would like it for a multitude of reasons. He says all is well. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, my man El Patron, 2 nights in a row. My God, back-to-back shows. Let's go, Kings. Yes, I actually have another live tomorrow, man. So 3 nights in a row. Your boy's back working, man.
Hey, that's how you get that 5K. That's how you get that 10K by December, man.
Yes, sir, man. That's
the grind.
Yes, sir. Jojo, pause. Diddy and R. Kelly should have discovered Thailand before getting into this craziness in the States.
Facts.
Yeah.
However you want to. Hey,
man. You know what? You could say. Shannon Sharp. I mean, nowhere near as with Diddy and R. Kelly. I'm not looping them in, but what I'm saying is how guys are starting to get caught up, right? You know what I mean? Like even something with Weezy, on Mother's Day and all that. You know what I mean?
I heard. Wow.
It's a whole lot of nasty work out here, man. Jason, my last trip to Medi, leaving, they didn't stamp. But put a face scan. Okay.
So they didn't even stamp in Medi your last trip. So is that starting to be a thing now? They're getting away from stamping?
I don't know. So
I heard in Lima they never stamped, but I didn't believe it until I got there. And he gave me some questions and handed it right back. I said, okay.
Well, so 2 weeks ago, I went to Colombia and Brazil, but they did stamp when I went to Medi. So I don't know, like I don't know if it's like different agents do different things. Maybe one may stamp, maybe one may do the face scan, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's definitely entered into the system. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's 3 months. Okay. Thank you for that information, man. Okay, so you got 90 days. Okay.
That's what's up. Thank you for that.
90 days or they start taxing your ass. Got it.
And how would they know when the 90 starts? Because guess what? It is entered. It's entered into the system.
Right. Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. It just don't
right. Yeah. Don't think that you could just overstay and they're not going, they're not going to let you know about it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So where should I go for my first time? It's some interesting places I hear you guys talking about. So Patrick, are you referring to your first time traveling in general, or are you talking about like the first place you want to go to in Peru? So just kind of be specific to that, you know what I mean? And so at least Big Boss, obviously you're the guest, even though we're doing a dual collab, but I would want you to answer that. Buck Travel, Lima is dope. I went to most of the guys in the space. What? Hold up. Lima is dope. I went to most of the guys in the space went there. Okay. I don't really know a lot of people that went to Lima, Peru, though. I only know Austin and maybe like 2 or 3 other people. I don't think it's a lot, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot. It's not big on the Passport Bro radar yet. I mean, it's obviously out there, but it's not a go-to destination yet. Okay. That could change, though. That can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah. We gonna get there. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
We gonna get there.
Uh-oh, he's talking my language.
We gonna get
It's
there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We almost at the 1 hour mark, man. I'm at least trying to push it to like 90 minutes to like 2 hours. Cause all right. Mombasa is the Sosua of Africa. Lots of European men with young African Johns.
I heard. That's what I heard. That's what they say. Mombasa is the Kenya version of Sosua because it's a beach area. Because they say Kenya Nairobi is the big city, but Kenya Mombasa is the coastal beach town. So that beach has a Sosua vibe, where Kenya will probably have like the Medi or something.
I was gonna say so. So you got Medi, the city of Kenya, and then Mombasa.
Well, Nairobi.
Oh, my fault. Sorry. Yeah, Nairobi. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, but so Nairobi, the city of I'm sorry, the state of Nairobi, rather. The state of Nairobi, you have that's Medi, and then Mombasa is like the Cartagena Sosua.
Cartagena Sosua or Pattaya, right? It's interesting, and I said this on one of my lives. Across these countries, there's a similar vibe. The big city and the beach town. Because in Thailand, your big city is Bangkok, but then your beach town is Pattaya. In the DR, your big city is Santo Domingo, but your beach town is Sosua. So, in Colombia, you just said it, your big city is Medellin, your beach area is Cartagena. So it's interesting that these passport bro spots have that dynamic. Your big city and your red light beach town.
Right.
These boss, I prefer the red light beach towns over these big cities. Oh man.
Understood. All right. Okay, these guys are talking to each other. International Zoe is in Lima right now. Okay.
Oh, I know he was there before, so I mean he went back.
Okay. All right. So Patrick Moody, he was asking in general, what's the best place to first travel in general? And then Big Boss, I'll let you answer that, and then I'll go.
All right. Well, we have a thing over here in the Passport Bro space, an unwritten kind of rule or ritual. A lot of first-time Passport Bro travelers out of the country normally go to a place you keep hearing us talk about, Sosua, Dominican Republic. One is relatively close, especially, and again, I said earlier, depending on what part of the country you're flying from, right? California West Coast, New York, Miami, Texas, just down south, wherever you're flying, still the Dominican Republic island is only 90 minutes off of Florida. So it's relatively close. So since it's so close, a lot of guys start there. Some guys do start in Colombia, Medellin. I would be against that, especially for starters, right? I would be against that. I would say down there, start Cartagena before you start Medellin. You couldn't go wrong with just going right to the Mecca, to Brazil. But I still kind of reluctantly, and I hear you, Yogi. Bossy Boss be hating on Sosua, man. I still would say first-timers should probably get their feet wet in Dominican Republic. Even if not Sosua, then maybe Punta Cana, maybe the big city, Santo Domingo, or Sosua. Because like New York, where Mr. Kings and Dreams are from, if you can make it in Sosua, you can make it anywhere. Because you would get a real feel for, dealing with the nightlife, dealing with the local women, some of the challenges and the little games they play, the highs and the lows, the ups and downs. And it's relatively safe, right? You might have to worry about some pickpocketing or maybe kleptomaniacism in your room. But it's relatively safe, and you can get to bump your head, so to speak, in an environment that's relatively safe and not so far. So I still would say your first trip should be maybe Dominican Republic, maybe Sosua, Punta Cana, Puerto Plata, or Colombia, but I wouldn't have your first trip be Medellin, especially if you're a solo by yourself. No. So, DR, Or like so, but my brother, shout out to my younger brother, who's 45, right? He took his first trip, his very, very first trip last year. His very first trip, Thailand. He jumped straight off the block. I tried to get him to go to DR Sasua. He said, no, big bro, I looked at all those videos. I see those girls, those women. They look ratchet like Oakland chicks. I want my first trip to be something radically different. So my brother's first trip was to the Orient. He went to Thailand. So the world is your oyster, bro. We're probably DR.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, it depends, like, like who you're traveling with. Like, see, Big Boss brother had Big Boss to travel with, so he had an experienced traveler to travel with. So, like, if you're, Patrick, if you're going by yourself, I would recommend, Sosua. There's a lot of brothers who have a lot of businesses there, expats, stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, you would be within the community, they will look out for you. And then another place what a lot of people don't talk about, and I guess due to the fact that it's so close to the United States, but it's a big country. In the summer, oh, Canada, because
Canada.
Toronto is a beautiful, trust me. Toronto is beautiful, but what you want to do is like if you're going with an experienced traveler, then you can do the Thailands, you can do the Brazils, the Colombias. But if you're going with people who have not traveled outside of the United States, and you kind of want to dip your toe in the water and not just jump into the deep end, Sosua, as what Big Boss said, or during the summer, go up north, Canada, because the scenery is beautiful in more ways than one, man.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because Canada has been on my bucket list for a while. I had a coworker years back before the pandemic, and he would just rave about Canada. He told me a lot of interesting. You know what I'm about. So just think about me and what I do and what I like to do when I'm about. And he just broke it all the way down. He said, it's there. I said, wow. I said, Canada? He said, yeah. I said, So he almost had me sold. And then when I think years back, I was going to pull the trigger and do like a quick expedition, short trip up to Canada. And that's when the pandemic hit. And I haven't thought about it since, but you just now put it back on my radar just now.
Yeah, well, so there's a Caribbean festival. It's called Caravana, and it happens every year in August. It's a vibe. Patrick, Big Boss, it's a vibe. Trust me, it's a vibe.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Let me finish up these last comments because I want to get this conversation going. Kenya is a GFE GOAT.
Facts.
In class, and Kenyan women are cool and outgoing. That
Niesh.
Oh, that Niesh is nice. Okay, got it.
You know what Niesh is, right?
I assume like ish.
It's their ass, their butt.
Okay, the ass. Okay,
it's African. Yeah, African for ass.
Okay.
I believe that word is South African, but they use it in Kenya.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Yes,
the dating market is easy in Kenya. I can see why Austin Holloman loves it there.
Another Brazil.
Yep,
it's like an African Brazil.
Yep. Yeah, Kenya's also on my list. I love Kenya. I put Kenya on my top 3. Chile as number 1, and Brazil.
What? Well, hold on. Big Boss breaks on that comment. Even with what you said, because I can vibe with the Kenya Nairobi because I was there.
Yeah,
I heard about the Mombasa. I'm going back to see that, and that's consistent. And but even with that, you still put Chile as number 1.
Yeah, well, if
Chile is number one over that, I gotta see what that chili's about.
well, if I recall, I remember I don't know if Big Mike, if you end up getting engaged, but I remember you had like a shorty there. You know, a shorty, like I remember Big Mike was out there for a minute.
And Big Mike was always spamming even my chats, always talking about damn Chile.
Yeah,
For like
no,
2 years straight.
Yeah,
Yeah, for 2 years straight, all Big Mike talked about was Chile.
So I think he found his wifey out there, man.
And it's still number one. Wow.
King of Dreams, you be lying, bro. It's Kings and Dreams. Hold on.
Kings of
He's
Dreams.
not from NYC, maybe upstate. Okay.
They trolling you.
Yeah, I know.
Trolling you, man.
Yo, so I'm gonna say this real quick. I was born in Kings County Hospital. The name of the county in Brooklyn, New York is called Kings County, right? So I was born in Kings County Hospital, February 7th, 1985. And I lived in building 25 East 18th Street, building 5E, zip code 11226. So if I'm not from New York, how do I know all that? Thank you.
Hello.
You know, so people be trying to test, man.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Right, exactly. Ask Big Boss, what are your thoughts on Passport Bros who came through Razor Race panel, telling his story about how he proposed and married a Sosua John. Who proposed to a Sosua John?
Yeah, man. So I missed the live, and shout out to homie Richie Rich Roll the tape.
Yeah,
he hit me the next day and gave me a clip of the live and said, "Big Boss, you remember the scooter girl in Sosua?" All of us remember the scooter girl. He said, this simp guy got her down on his knees and proposed to marry her. I was like, what? Then I went to Razor's channel and I looked at some of the live. So yeah, man. And she's a cool chick. I kicked it with her a couple times the last few times I was down there.
Oh, okay.
She's a worker chick, chica. Yeah. And she's real innovative, man. She hustles her little money. She buys her own little scooter. And I remember she used to always go up to the casino and try to double her money. So, she was something else. So she was always like real innovative and could speak English. And I guess she got some simp to marry her or to propose to her. So, wow.
Congratulations to her, but the simp, shame on you, brother.
Right. That part.
Yeah.
She finessed.
Right. Okay. Yo, shout out to my man HD Chillin', man. You know,
right? HD Chillin'.
Yes, sir. So boss, he's asking, do you prefer Bogota or Lima, Peru?
Oh, Bogota. It's still Bogota. Bogota over Lima. Lima was a good diversion. You know, it was a good diversion. And again, where I was at, especially that Mega Plaza, it reminded me of certain parts of Bogota. But no, Bogota all day.
Okay.
Lima was nice. It was nice for what it was.
Gotcha. This Kenyan chick and Mubasa was telling me the name of some of the European guys. Get the woman knocked up in Mubasa and get out of there and not taking care of the babies.
Dirty scoundrels. And they got the nerve to talk about Black American men.
Bro, I was just about to say that.
We're there.
Yep. I was just about to say that. They always say we the ones that be leaving.
Dirty rotten scoundrels.
Hey, listen, Brad and Billy be leaving too, dog.
Yeah, they do.
Big Boss, that activity is there in Canada and legal. Hit up Montreal, Canada during the summer. Actually, yes. Montreal is another place. I will say that Montreal is another place. So I have a cousin who lives in Montreal, and not necessarily for that activity, but just as far as like the ambiance and the beautiful woman activities and stuff. But yeah, it's really, really dope. Toronto, Montreal, you can't miss.
Well, it's interesting you say that. So this particular coworker who used to always tell me about Canada, believe it or not, he wasn't even speaking on the pay for play, and that's another thing that piqued my interest. So I'll go ahead and say it. He was just saying there was a lot of white girls and a whole lot of mixed girls. He said it's a lot of mixture going on up there because they have a lot of immigrants that come from all over. Now they all mix up. And he said they just pretty much love and dig American guys, American black guys. The ones who are cool with some swag. Now, if you're this big, fat, ugly, stinky, whatever, and just because you're American, no. But the black guys who have it going on, the black guys who have it together, the American black guys, he said you can just clean up out there. You can clean up out there, go to the club, go to the nice spots, go to the bars. You'll come up on a lot of those mixed white chicks, mixed chicks that's into American blacks, into hip hop culture, into the swag. So he was just telling me about that. Not so much the P for P.
Yeah, I just peep game. Thank you. But honestly, like you probably wouldn't even need it because, like I was saying, like how your man was saying, like they just like mess with your vibe. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, they just mess with your vibe. Like, so I would go to the club with my cousin, and you know what I mean, they could just tell like I'm from the United States, like I don't know, just by the way, like I guess like the way like I stand or I walk or whatever the case is, and they just feel that vibe, you know what I mean? And yeah, so you got like it like I said, like especially Toronto is such a melting pot because like you'll see like an Indian chick, an Arab chick, a white chick, dark skin chick, brown skin chick, mulatto, you'll see an Asian chick, and they all like want to be on your helmet, bro.
Right. That's you pretty much saying what he was saying.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, he's saying it's more like a vibe. And when he was even breaking it down, he said because I think if I remember correctly, I think he was from there at some point because he was saying the difference is a lot of their guys, and shout out to them and their guys, but a lot of them guys may not carry themselves the most confident and upright, so it's something about the American swag, especially the American brother swag, who's just cocky and boisterous and out there. The women just flock to it because he was saying, and I'm probably messing it up, but it was along the lines of, not all, but a lot of their men tend to be kind of like downtrodden, kind of like humble and kind of shyish. So when they see like a vibrant American that's just out there, so that's why he's saying, that's why, shout out to my own self. He said, you, bro, yo, outgoing, outward personality, you up there, you a pull like a magnet.
Yeah, no, it's very true because like you know what I mean because my cousin like he's low key, you know what I mean, and he
lives out there. He lives out there.
Yeah, he lives in Montreal.
And that's what my guy said. He said the guys are out there. They tend to be low key, so the girls prefer that high energy. So when an American comes, they just jump on them.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah, that is very true. All right. Yeah, Kings. I got married here in Chile. I knew you had a John, bro. I knew you had a John, but I didn't know that you married him, man. Congratulations,
wow.
Big Mike.
Congratulations.
But it's a bit rocky right now. Okay. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Hey, man, I hope everything works out for the best. I mean, if it ends and it means that your mental health is good, then it wasn't meant to be, brother. But you know what I mean? If it's something that can be fixed and mended and you guys are able to get back right, and you know what I mean, and it's an improvement for you, because I'm Team Big Mike. I don't know her, so I'm Team Big Mike. You know what I mean?
I heard that. I'm on your side. You right. She wrong.
Right.
Whatever happened.
Yeah. So long story short, Big Mike,
you cheated with 20 women. You right. She wrong.
Hey, listen. If it's beneficial for you, man, I hope it works out, bro. Canadians are very nice. Yes, you can be yourself and they chill. Montreal is safe. I was walking in the middle of the night. The P for P, Snow Bunny Heaven. Yeah.
Shannon Sharp would love that.
What 25K a cheek? Nasty work.
Oh man,
Nasty work. Shorty did look good, but she wasn't 25K good.
No.
She did look good though. Canadian chicks are easier to approach. Just one thing: don't bring up U.S. politics or Trump. That yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, well, see that's one thing though. That's one thing. Don't bring up politics because they are super feminist out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I heard this goes into why a lot of the guys down there are kind of downtrodden because it's so much a feminist society that the guys just play it safe.
Okay. Yeah. So they browse.
You know what? I'm gonna say this on one of the original Red Pill channels. Sometimes women don't know what they want. We making it hot up in here. The woman said she want all of that, and then when a man acts like that, then they don't want him. Surprise, surprise.
Yep.
You made this fake matrix feminine society that beats down men, and the men are kind of kowtow. Now you don't want those men.
Right.
But when you get these vibrant Americans that come there, alpha male that let their balls hang, you run and flock to them.
Oh yeah.
You beat your own men down.
Yep. Absolutely. And the thing is, not to get too crimson here, but the thing is, plain and simple, fellas, don't listen to what she says. Watch what she does.
That's man.
International Zoe is there now. Yep, we heard that. In Lima, yep, we got that. Why would anyone bring up politics with women?
Right. That's wrong. That's a losing situation.
Oh, absolutely. But I think Big Mike was just saying, like, if you happen to be in a relationship or whatever, you know what I mean, and then you're watching something, and you know what I mean, and you see Donald Trump, you're like, yeah, and she's like, what the fuck, you know what I mean, and then now the whole conversation come about, you know what I mean.
You know how many times here in the States I held my tongue as these chicks just badmouth Trump and go about Trump. I had. Yeah, and then we doing that. Him and Elon Musk are doing this and
right. Yep. Absolutely. Well said, Bossolini. Yes, sir. Okay, all right. I got through all of the comments, so now let's get back to this Lima conversation. So we talked about the food, so let's talk about like the financials, and then after the financials, we'll get into money time. You got it. After the financials, we'll get into money time.
Yeah, well, it goes together.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about like when it comes like the cost of food, and I know that you said that you didn't really do like too much like activities. Did you do any activities whatsoever or not really?
I would have to say in the 5 days, no, I didn't. So yeah, that's a glaring omission. In those 5 days, I just kind of stayed put. I stayed in my own little bubble. I didn't leave out of a 3-4 block radius. The good thing was the hotel I stayed in, the area I stayed in, it literally was a mall, a giant shopping mall right behind my building.
Like, oh wow, okay.
Like one block past my building was a shopping mall. And so I hung at the mall a whole lot, needless to say.
Okay.
And walking around on the different floors, the different stores. I stayed a lot in the Starbucks in there using their Wi-Fi. I went live on my channel in Starbucks Wi-Fi a couple of times. So I just kind of amused myself in the mall, and it was in my plush hotel room. I had a suite that had a jacuzzi, that had everything in it, a plush room. Okay. And then at night, when we get into it, I went to some of the establishments, and again, it was only 5 days, so I wasn't there a week. I wasn't there 2 weeks. I literally was there like 5 or 6 days. I could have did at least 1 or 2 activities, but I didn't. So yeah.
Right. Understood. Understood. Yeah. So the mall. So like the mall, like how would you compare the malls to other malls that you've been to, outside of the United States?
Outside, okay, not the American Mall. Yeah, this mall was impressive, almost against a mall in the United States, so let alone in other places. So this mall was, yeah. One thing about a mall, malls are big. They have a whole lot going on. So now that, I'm trying to think about the malls when I was in Bogota, because I stayed in that mall a lot. And when I was in Philippines, I went to that mall a couple of times. One of the hacks when I'm in these countries is, I have to say, go to a mall, because you go to a mall, there's a lot of stuff to do, even if it's mundane and just walking around and seeing. It's still this kind of stuff to do, right? And so, yes, that's not going on an adventure. It's not going on a field trip. It's not doing an excursion or activity. But you can take up half a day just walking through the mall. So I tend to spend a lot of time in malls when I'm over. And then, in malls, you can try your hand at day game.
Yep.
Excuse me, come on, stop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but to answer your question, this mall rated pretty high amongst like foreign malls. They had some of everything in it, and like I said, almost their food court was amazing. I would say they had that's where they excelled. Their food court was probably one of the best food courts of any mall I've been to. Philippines had a good food court too, but no, their food court was ridiculous. So yeah, the malls were great.
Yeah. That. So I'll address the food, but let me kind of circle back when you said like one of the hacks is walking through the mall, right? And I think that that's very true, right? So like you can also I think like you can also see like what the people are wearing there, like how do they dress, and then also you can see like the type of food that they eat, like what food do like what's like the popular food, right? Like, what places are people going into like the food court? And then when it comes to, meeting women, right? You know what I mean? Like if you see a woman at the mall or she is working at the mall, like
Yeah,
you approach her at work so you actually get to see like what she actually does. You know what
right,
I mean? So, I think that it's good for all of these things. So you get to understand a lot about the environment of where you're at, right? Like as I mentioned, you get to see what the people are wearing. You also get to see, like what types of foods they're eating. You know what I mean? And then you get to see like the woman, the quality woman,
right,
talk to them during the day, and even if she is choppy your daughter, whatever, you catch her during the day. You know what I
right.
mean? Hey, you may get lucky. You know what I'm saying?
You might,
Lucky. You may get
and,
lucky.
and you're in a big place with air condition and mall security, right?
Right,
Not too much is going to happen to you inside the mall. So
right, right. There's cameras everywhere, so they know, like, you know what I mean. Like, even if they try to do something, like, that's not going to work. So, yeah, I think going to the mall is a good hack. Another thing, so when it comes to so when it comes to like the financials for someone that spends 5 or 6 days, how much would you say someone would need to bring?
yeah,
Um, yeah, like the average person, let's say like food cost, um, possible activities, maybe going out to bars, clubs, you know what I mean, and then I guess we'll put an asterisk because I know a big boss like to bust it up, but maybe some dudes don't want to bust it up. They just, you know what I
They
mean?
want to bust it up. They want to bust it up. James.
Yeah. So what would you say?
They want to bust it up.
Yeah.
Keep
Also-
thinking salute.
Salute, brother. But yeah, so how much would you say for like 5 or 6 days?
At least 1,000. 1,200 is better. 1,500 is best, max. You don't need more. You don't need more than 200 a day. You can set a 300 a day limit if you want. Okay. And mind you, we're talking after the hotel, right? So obviously way after the plane ticket because you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And so way after the plane ticket and even after your hotel or B&B. So at this point, it's straight while you're there. Food, drinks, fun, whatever. Mm-hmm. Budget about 200 a day. My budget is 200 a day, and I normally don't ever even hit my budget.
Yeah.
I budget 200, but I normally spend half of that, maybe 150. Some people like to drink a lot, and drinking will actually balloon your budget up the most.
Yeah.
You know, I could say sometimes even more than the activity with the girl. That alcohol is something else. Drinking, it can really add up.
No, you're right about that.
If you get bottles, oh, forget about it. But even not bottles, even shots. So you can easily bump that up to 300 a day. So now you're talking 5 days, 3, 5, so 15. But I say about 1,000, 1,200, 13, soft cushion. You'll be all right. Yeah. Like for me, I think I'll go ahead and say I want to say I went out there with 1,500. I want to say that.
Okay.
And if I remember correct, it was about 1,600. And I believe I came back with a couple of bucks in my pocket. So yeah, you don't have to break the bank. It's relatively cheap. Their money, but it is stronger than the Brazilian real. Now Brazil is 5-1. There's a 3-1. So, okay. Right. So their currency is actually stronger than Brazil's, believe it or not. But that's still relatively cheap for us.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And so when you exchanged when you did like the currency exchange, now did you do that when you were there, or did you actually do that prior to traveling? Because I know some people will do exchange prior to traveling. Like for an example, like when I went to like the times that I went to Havana, Cuba. So instead of so I actually traded USD for euros.
Yeah, euros, that's what I heard. Yeah, they don't want you to spend USD there, right?
Well, so they value the euros higher, right? So
right.
So what I did was, interestingly enough, the first time that I went, I had sent my mother to Portugal. So I actually had her bring me back euros. So then I took the euros, and then I went to Cuba. And then when I was in Cuba, I traded in the euros for the Cuban pesos. Yeah. So, for anyone who has been to Cuba or is planning on going to Cuba, you wanna have euros to trade in for the Cuban pesos. Just a heads up on that.
So you can't trade. Can you trade the USD for pesos?
You can. It's just that the euros are worth more.
Yeah, you get more. Yeah, exactly.
Duh. Right. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, okay, like let's say, for an example, like let's say like the USD is, it's worth maybe like 150 Cuban pesos. The euro would be worth 200, maybe 210. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you start to add that up. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah,
You're leaving money on the table.
right, exactly. I'm rolling with the euros as opposed to the
USD.
USD. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. And then so now let's go into the ladies. So comparison to beauty wise, what would you rate the the ladies of Lima, Peru, in comparison to all of the countries that you've been to?
Oh wow. They rate. They rate. Well, they will rate on the low end.
Oh,
Yeah, but because you're talking about, well, okay, well, they'll probably be neck and neck, maybe with Thailand, I guess. But, but again, the Thai chicks I go for thick Thai chicks anyway. But so it's a thing, and I kind of saw it out there. It's a thing in Lima, Peru, where I had already said, or guys already say that, shout out to them, no disrespect, but a lot, not all, but many of the actual Lima ladies tend to not have attractive figures, right. So, but it's a good thing there's a lot of foreign women there. But they said like the classic indigenous Lima look for the lady is a little boxy, whatever. But
what do you mean like boxy, like SpongeBob?
kind of, yeah, kind of like yeah.
So
Yeah, that
Squidward. Oh no.
yeah. But the thing is, Lima is a hub country similar to a Costa Rica, similar to a Panama. One, because their currency is pretty high. Again, Lima Peru currency is higher than the Brazilian real or Brazilian real, and so a lot of ladies go there to work. Wink, wink. And so it's flooded with a lot of Venezuelans. Shout out to Venezuelans. I fell in love with the Venezuelans in Colombia, right? Venezuelans go everywhere, but they have some of everything from all South America there in Lima, Peru. But the actual indigenous Lima, Peru ladies are really not. They're not it. They're not all that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued by that because I remember there was one lady in particular, a guy Austin Holloman, he was interviewing, and like she had really really nice eyes, and and
that was the waitress chick, right?
Yeah, the waitress. I was like, yo, what's up with that? But yeah, she said she had a dude or whatever, but yeah, I was like, man, she fine.
If I remember correctly, was she straight Lima, Peru? I hear a big echo now. It's not an echo on your side?
No, there's no echo. Guys, if you guys hear an echo, put a 1 in the chat, but I don't hear an echo.
Well, that's cool. If it's only me, I just deal with it. If it's only me, I just don't want to mess up your show.
Nah. It's all good, brother. Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo.
All right. Well, I can deal with it.
Okay, hold on.
I'm only getting my own feedback.
Hold on. Okay. All right. So he says he hears an echo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo. It's coming from my side. Okay. Hold on. Let me try something. Hold on a minute, guys.
This now is good. He ain't saying nothing. You funny, Big Mike.
Okay, check. All right. How about now, guys? How about now?
Well, no. Well, it's when I talk. Yo. I hear it. I hear the echo. It seems like I can hear it and the chat can hear it, but you can't hear it. But they say it's good audio. Okay, that's
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I think I had so for me, I think I had too many windows open, so I had to close a couple of windows. You know.
Probably same here.
Uh,
Yo. Yep. So I closed that window I had open, and now I don't hear my own echo. So there we go.
Okay.
Been
All right.
doing this. Been doing this for years, and still make that kind of mistake, huh? Oh man.
Hey, God, but see, the thing is, I mean, listen, I watch mediocre tutorial and reviews, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
sometimes
Shout out to him.
he'll have audio issues, you know what I mean. Even the late great Kevin Samuels had some audio issues, you know what I mean. It doesn't really matter how big your platform is. The thing is, sometimes with technology, we love technology, we need technology, but sometimes it can fuck up on us. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just that.
Absolutely. Anything man-made.
Yeah.
Anything man-made.
Yeah. So let's get back to the ladies here.
Back to the ladies.
Yeah. So you were saying that the homegrown Lima, Peruvians, you're saying that not really attractive.
Nah.
That's
crazy. There's exceptions, right? But I would say across the board, probably 70-30, 70-30 not. But you always got that cream of the crop. Now, anywhere you go, you still have some Lima, Peru indigenous that will still look good, but a lot of them don't. And no disrespect, shout out to them. They work, for their men, for their local men, they all work together, I guess. But for our outside taste and what we're used to, no. But Lima, Peru is a big hub spot.
Okay.
So a lot of women from all over come to work. And real work and sex work, both work because regardless, the wages are still, in that currency. And their wages are relatively high for that region. So it just brings a lot of people there across the board.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, we talked about like the personalities of Latin America, right? Like how we were comparing Colombia to Brazil, and so I want to compare the personality of the Peruvians that you've come across. So are they more like laid back, or are they more like expressive? So what were the personalities that you were running into?
The personalities, they were cool. They were a little laid back and conservative. So definitely not outgoing, expressive like a Brazil, like you recently found out about.
Right.
Not even as outgoing as like the Kenya, Nairobi. Mm-hmm. They're kind of reserved and chilled and laid back, but respectful, cool, kind, respectful, but not like out there, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to kind of do a little like to kind of bring it out of them type deal.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Now, did they give you like any choosing signals? Because even though and I'll mention Colombia again, with Colombia, they're like conservative, as you mentioned. Yeah. But the thing is, like, when they find you attractive, they like stare you down, like they like looking like dead at you. Right. And they're basically saying, like, I'm not gonna say anything to you, but I want you to come say something to me. So like the laws of attraction, like, did they give you like any choosing signals to let you know, like, hey, like I'm interested in want you to talk to me or what have you?
No, boss, I didn't get no choosing signals, man. They wasn't on your boy like that, man.
Okay.
I only had one chick that actually came up to me.
Oh, okay.
When I was on the street at night, but lo and behold, she was a worker, so I guess that don't count. So
right.
Yeah, she had an ulterior motive, right?
Right.
No, so but interesting, but because I got a lot of looks because I was one of one. I was the only one of me out there. Like I would say the only black person. I could say I was the only black person somewhere for like 5 or 6 days. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a different experience. So I got looks, but I don't think I got too many of those kind of looks. So
Okay, I got you. Okay, and then now did you end up like outside of the mall? Like, did you end up like going to like any of the like local spots, like any like the bars or anything like that?
well, yeah. So technically, the only bars you could say I went to was now. This would be time to transition as
Hmm.
to the establishments. I went to two different establishments, and these establishments, full service type place where they have like a full bar
Hmm.
and a showroom, um, dance floor, showroom, and smash rooms and whatnot. So
Okay.
I did visit two establishments out there, and got it in. But one, I'm not. Believe it or not, I'm not the biggest drinker. I'm not the biggest drinker. I do drink. I will drink socially, especially when I'm on vacation. I'm out and about. But I'm not the biggest drinker. So I don't really just hit bars like that anyway. But when I
Right.
do go to bars or a nightclub, it's for to find the ladies, to find the women. So in this case, when I was in Lima, Peru for that very short trip, only like 5 or 6 days, 2 or 3 of those nights, I actually went out to some establishments. They have a big establishment out there. I say the name is Las Serenetas. Las Serenetas is a real big establishment. The guy who runs it, not own it, but the guy who runs it, I met him.
Hmm.
He is Peruvian born, but he lived in America here in the Bay Area for a while. So me and him spoke. He,
Okay.
yeah, he was a cool brother. Well, not brother, but he was born. He was born in Lima, Peru, but he lived most of his life in America. I don't want to know if he got deported or he just came back on his own, but he runs one of the biggest brothel establishments, Las Serenatas.
Casas.
Yeah, Casas brothels.
Yep.
It's called
Got
Las Serenatas. It's 2 floors. It has like 150 rooms.
Dang.
The night I was there, they probably had about 100 girls. They didn't have 150 girls. They had about 100 girls, but they had 150 rooms and a big old giant bar. And then they had a big showroom where they would use some of the girls to go on stage and dance and like do like segues, do sections and stuff like that. So it was just the funniest thing. So it was real cool. It was a cool vibe. That's Los Angeles. It costs like 10. I think like it costs like something silly. It costs like 10 soles to get in. So not even like $3 to get in, right? And then the beers are about would be $3 to $5 American. And then for the to spend the time with the ladies there, the time with the ladies there was, believe it or not, about the average of 15 USD. So again, 100 soles is 30 US because it's like by thirds, 3 to 1.
Yeah.
100,
Yeah.
100 souls is 30. The girls there were 50 souls. So 50 souls is 15. So
Okay.
needless to say, you can have fun on the cheap.
Bossy Boss was busting it up.
Busting it up, man. And so
Hey, man.
but it's funny, I only went to that one once, and then there's a smaller one called La Comina. La Comina is a little smaller. It's not 2 floors with 150 rooms. It's 1 floor, and it has about maybe 50 rooms, 50 or 60 rooms. The night I went, there might have been 30 or 40 girls there. Very similar. That place costs like $2 to get in. And the girls there are even cheaper. So at the Las Serenetas, they're 50 souls. At La Camina, they're 40 souls, like 10 souls. And I think 10 souls is $3, right?
Okay.
Remember, everything is by 3s and 10s.
That would be $3 because
Right.
because essentially you're saying $3.33.
Yeah, 3 through 3, yeah, right. And so So the girls at the Las Serenetas would be 15. The ones at Comina would be 12. You know, right. And so that's to put in your mind the kind of prices that's out there.
Right.
So that alone makes it worth it, man. You can run through them. So now just talking prices, and so it's the street action out there. In the area I was at, Mega Plaza. So I dubbed it from the mall to the wall. So in my little bubble, it was probably like 3 or 4 blocks. Behind my hotel was a shopping mall. 1 block past my hotel was a shopping mall. 3 blocks up was a big ass wall that kind of ended that zone. You got to go to the end of that wall, and then you out in the other street part. You can catch buses and taxis to go to other zones from the mall to the wall. And on that wall, all the chicas, all the girls line up and hang out.
Yeah.
To street meet, right? And out there, the price is about, they kind of want the whole 100 souls, which is $30 or $33, right? So even then, their high price is still only $30, right? The girls on the street, 100 souls, $30. The ones in a casa, 50 souls, 15. The smaller casas, 40 souls, 12. Blah blah blah. So website, I use the website though. There's a website that's similar to the one that some people use in Brazil with the photo Acampa. This is called something else Acampa. So I could tell it's the same company because everything looks the same. It's just regional based for Lima. And on there, the girls pretty much want 200 souls, which is $60, right?
Yeah.
So it's still, everything go by 30s, right? You know, so 15, 30, 60. So it's all the way around. It's very doable, very easy, very economical. And with the food being about the same with the pricing. So for Lima, Peru, like I said, you really don't need a lot. When I went out there with 1,600 for 5 days, that really was kind of too much. Especially since I did not do a lot of extra activities. I basically only ate. You know, I ate at the mall. I think every night, right? Ate at the mall. I ate at street trucks out there. I went to the establishment 3 times out of the 5 nights. I went to the establishment 3 nights. The other 2 nights, I just, I ordered in, a Uber Beats, off the website.
Yeah, Uber Beats. Yeah.
You fly away. Yeah, so you can really with that kind of price point, if you keep your head on straight, you can really craft a good trip. It doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, I got you. Now, in comparison to like, the ladies in the casa as opposed to the ladies that were outside of the casa, and then the website, where would you say out of all 3, you rank like
quality?
Yeah, quality. There we go.
Oh, website 1,000%. The website 1,000%. Okay. They had a few cuties that were outside, but you know what? But the casa, especially the first casa, the big one, the Las Serenetas, the one with 150 rooms, 2 floors.
Yeah,
they had some baddies in there, some like actual baddies that could work on a website. And that one I saw the most diversity too. I saw one that was like black, like she looked like African up in there. Yeah. So again, and that makes sense because again, that whole area is just full of immigrants that come from all over.
Right.
The Lima Peru, the Lima Soul is pretty high comparison. So that establishment, Brothel Casa, Las Serenetas, with the 2 floors, they had a lot of different ethnicities in there. The smaller one, La Camina, they still had a lot. They had a lot of Venezuelans in there, and the outside, and like in my zone, Mega Plaza, by that wall, I say from the mall to the wall, on that long wall where all the girls were,
Yeah.
they would tend to be okay. Like half of them were the Peruvian women, the other half was a mix of Venezuelans and other chicks. They looked at okay, and I had one of them actually come up to me and grab my hand and just kind of like was talking to me like directly. I said, why not? She ended up being a vibe, so I ended up kicking it with her like twice. Like
Nice.
before I left, I made sure I spent the block with her. She was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and so between that and the website, now I did held out to try to see if cold approach at the mall. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I want to hear about this.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would tell you, but it's not much to tell you because this didn't really work out like that. I didn't really see much that I wanted to pull the trigger on, so I really didn't go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was what it was, man. Like I said, all in all, it was cool. It ended up being a cool, interesting trip, and in all honesty, transparency, the reason I went when I did, not to say that I never was gonna go, it was on my bucket list too. I went to meet Razor Rays. He flew. I was out there by myself, so I had to wing it, and I ended up winging it pretty well, I think.
That's cool. Now, now you said that you really didn't do like cold approach. Now, would you say that was it because like you didn't feel like they would be receptive, or did you just was saying like there wasn't anyone that was your type that you didn't want to cold approach?
Yeah, it's the second one. I'm big on cold approaching, man. I mean, I'm very bold, so that's not the issue. I don't have a fear of rejection. So I'm big on cold approaching. It's just inside the malls, like I really didn't see nothing really worth doing that. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, well, I got the brothel, I got the website, and later night, soon as the sun go down, they all gonna line up on that wall. From the mall to the wall. They're gonna line up on that wall. And that's what they do. So yeah, they literally line up on a wall. Crazy as shit. They line up on a wall. So I wasn't really stressed. But one thing I remember, it was very hot, man. I don't know if it was the time of the year I was there. I don't know if it's always like that. I was there in February, March. The last few days of February, the first couple of days of March, it was beaming hot. At least it had to be 90-ish every day I was there.
Wow.
I mean, the people walk, especially the ladies were walking around with just the umbrellas, sun umbrellas.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to stay to the shade. And I see they push electrolyte drinks very hard there. So I think it's hot like that, like a lot.
Yeah. It probably is. I mean, but I'm thinking maybe it may be something like because like Brazil's winter is like June, July.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking like it could have been like their summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and maybe it was. I must have caught the middle of their summer. It was hot.
Yeah.
So and that kind of played a role in me staying inside that mall. That mall had AC.
Yep.
That's the hack. That mall had AC. I stayed in that mall. I stayed in a Starbucks using a Wi-Fi. I would go live on my channel, being there for hours, and just have to keep buying me coffee while I'm in there. Then get out, walk around to their food court. Then finally just walk back to my hotel, chill in my hotel, wait till it get dark, go outside. All the girls are on the wall. Catch a taxi, Uber to the establishment. And so those 5-6 days went quick.
Yeah. So just to kind of circle back. So I just actually Googled it, and you were there during their summer. So Yeah, so the winter months are from like June to September, and so it can get as low as like 50 degrees, but it's still,
Hmm.
but that's still not, you know what I mean? I mean, that's like, but like, and like kind of the same thing for like the Bay Area, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, and then like New York, it's 50 degrees. That's basically like hoodie weather right there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
not like that's not like super cold.
Oh, but to them, they coming outside with like the bubble snore face.
I bet.
They coming
50,
out with the snore face jackets on. Frio,
man.
frio.
Rio, yeah, it was hot, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
shit. So that kind of played a role in kind of suppressing me too. I was like, man, let me just, just do a slow motion, save
yeah.
my energy, save my strength, and just chill, relax, eat that good food, stay up in a Starbucks, drinking my coffee, being on their Wi-Fi, going into just chilling in my room for a minute. As soon as it get dark, go outside, see all the girls. So yeah, it was cool. It was real cool. I guess I could have did more activities. If I go back, I will try to do some activities. But I hear like a lot of the activities were kind of in the tourist part where I didn't stay in that
Okay.
the Miraflores.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Miraflores that's set up for tourists. There's activities there. I was just in the hood, so and it's lucky for me. Even though I was in the hood, it was a shopping mall behind my hotel, so that kind of just came in clutch. That took up a lot of my time just being in that mall, and then I wait to go to the establishments. Then I hop online for the online. So that was pretty much the sum of my trip.
I had two questions.
Mhm.
Okay, so you said that like you would go to Starbucks and use their Wi-Fi. So was there no Wi-Fi like in your hotel?
Yes, it was. Um, it was spotty though. It's not the Wi-Fi. The Starbucks was a little better, and that's like a problem because I had like a nice suite. But again, you kill two birds in one stone. Because if I'm in a Starbucks and I'm still in that mall and I can see the women walk by
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Starbucks, and I can see them, especially if they come in,
yeah. Right.
versus just being stuck in my own room in a hotel. So
I got you. I got you. Okay. So yeah, you were trying to kill two birds with one stone. So you're like, all right, well, let me see like what's going past. You know what I mean? And then and I'm outside or whatever, catching the vibe. Got it. Understood. Now, and then my second question was, shoot, I forgot my second question. I'll get it back. But anyway, so moving on. So moving on. You know, what would you say is your best experience in Lima so far? Like, could be a chick that you hooked up with or whatever the case is. What would you say is your best experience and why?
that's a good question. Um, my best experience. Well, it'd be between this super dope meal I had at a restaurant that they gave me way too much food. It was ridiculous. I did not realize I was ordering that much food. When I pointed to what I was pointing, I pointed to some platter type thing that was supposed to feed a family.
Oh,
And even then, I destroyed half of it. And I was like, wow, they gave me all this food. So, and the food was just very delicious. I destroyed it. I was in seven heaven eating all that food. It was like a meat platter. They had like 5 different meats, different meats and kind of meats, and then they had their thick French fried potatoes. Then they had a salad and all these meats, and that was a good experience. I gorged myself. I think I ate so much that I didn't even end up doing too much that night.
yeah.
So I guess another best experience when I was out there for those few days, but it had to been with one of the chicas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one I had off the website, and she was Venezuelan. We did my jacuzzi hot tub, and that's the thing, man. I'll go ahead and say, at least for me, sometimes it's a waste. When I get these rooms, these suites with the hot tub, a lot of times I don't use it every night, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was trips over the years where I would get that kind of room and almost not use it at all. It's just there. I said, man, why I pay this extra money? But when you're in the States, when you're booking, you're like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want all the bells and whistles. When you get this, man, I'm not trying to fill that thing up and wait till it all gets filled up and then it's hot and cold and then put stuff in. I ain't doing all that every night. Yep. But one of the nights, she was a cutie too, light skinned cutie. She kind of could look Brazilian to me, very light skinned, and she had like curly Goldilocks hair, green eyes. Yeah, nice figure. We was just chilling in a hot tub with a lot of bubbles. That was just fun, doing that with her. Yeah. She was off the website. And then I would say the little shorty off the street that tugged on me, that got my attention.
Yeah, the one you had to spin the block on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say when I spent the block with her, our second engagement, man, I messed with her right before I went to the airport. Yeah, I really got it. Your boy really got it in. Too much information. So,
no, it's all good.
But funny, I purposely. She was literally the last. Even when she came to the room, my bags were already packed and everything. So I was just kind of waiting to check out.
Yeah.
So, oh man, she got it all, man. Oh man.
You let off before you took off. Pause. But
I get
it. You got to do it.
Sir. So yeah. So I ended the Lima Peru trip with a bang.
Hey,
overall,
man.
It was a good trip, man. Overall,
absolutely, man.
Good food. I was only there a few days, and I didn't do no excursions. So I just hung out at the mall for the most part and just caught a vibe and just hit the casas and worked the websites and just chilled out in a hot heat.
Yeah. Okay. So I do remember the question that I had for you earlier. So I know that you were saying that you were in the hood, but I'm trying to think what I guess in comparison, what estratos what you have been in where the mall is right there. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking
probably a 3. You think 3 or 4?
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably were in an El Centro type of area, kind of like that in betweener where you got the schools, but you're not near. I mean, you're not too far from the tourists. You know what I mean? But you're in the local area because I mean, you think about it. I've been to a lot of states in the United States and I've been to a lot of malls outside of the United States. I don't remember a mall being smack in the middle of the hood. You know?
Yeah. This is a big full size mall. Oh, and I left out in the casino, and it was the casino not too adjacent from it. So
yeah, so I'm thinking you probably were kind of in that middle line. You know what I mean? Maybe if you go 2 blocks down or something, it could probably get a little dicey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm thinking you probably were in that El Centro type of area. You know what I mean? Because I don't know any place that that has a mall that would be right by the hood.
Hood, right?
Hood
with a mall and a casino, right?
Yeah, casino. Yeah. Especially with a casino, because everybody pulling that shiesty on, what I mean? Every night.
It's a good thing I don't gamble.
Every night they getting got.
Yeah, good thing I don't gamble. So, like I say, some guys are into a lot of stuff. And shout out to them as long as they can handle it. Yeah. Some guys have drinking problems. They drink too damn much. Some guys smoke a lot. Some guys like to gamble. So, if you have them type of addictive kind of personalities, you can run through money real fast. You might need to bring $3,000, right? If you want to stay at the casino every night. So the way I move, I'm real efficient. I don't need much,
Right.
I'm like a Navy SEAL. I get in, do the job, and get out. Oh
Hey,
man.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Now, hold on. Let me get to got a super chat here from my man, Mr. Mister. If you had the time and money, is Lima worth staying longer than a week or two? You know what? That was a question I was gonna ask, but I'm glad that you asked, and thanks for the super chat, brother. Go ahead, big.
Yeah. Mister at the top of my list. Um, to answer your question, man, I would say maybe a week. I don't know if I would do 2 weeks there. 5, 6 days is kind of too fast for any place. I admit. Um, so maybe I could have gave it a few more days, especially if I can at least got in one or two activities or excursions. But for me, I probably wouldn't do a whole 2 weeks in Lima for myself. Because I have done other places and my mind makes the mental comparison now if I want to or not. My mind automatically in the background makes the mental comparison to other places. I wouldn't spend a whole 2 weeks there. There was one thing that I was running into that I didn't like. That's a con.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and say it, and I'll say it like respectfully on your channel. I did get it. I got it.
Go ahead, talk your shit, man.
Right on. I got it, but it was, to me, it was one. I almost didn't get it in the casa, in the brothel establishment. I really didn't get it in there. I got it from the street girl. The online was hit and miss, even though their ad says natural oral. Their ad say that. I'm going back and forth. Now I'm translating each message. Hey, when it comes to the oral, natural scene condom, right? Hey man, BBBJ, do you know half of the website chicks when they got there, they played stupid? And the only thing that saved me a couple of times is, I'm big for screenshotting. I would screenshot and I would show them. And then when they see it, they go, oh. But even I could tell, even when they looked at it, they already knew. But with the screenshot, they just couldn't keep it the facade. They didn't forget that fast. How you forget within an hour?
Right.
This was less. This is like 30, 45 minutes. In less than an hour. How did you forget? I'll show you. Oh. I said, man. So my perception is, yes, they are conservative, right? And kind of laid back and chill. You got to do something to get it out of them. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the BBJ, the bare natural blowjob without a condom, that was an issue there more than I anticipated, especially in the casa and the brothels. But that's normally standard because in there they normally be like that. Sometimes you can offer a little more, whatever. But they wasn't going for it. But I was like, okay, the street, so. But yeah, that online, that costs more. The online, they cost the most, right? Again, only what, $50, $60, but compared to 30 and 15, here it is, you cost the most. Your ad says it. You say you do it already. You say you do it. I double down and I make sure I ask. You say yes. You get to my room and you act stupid. And that happened time and time again. I said, what is up with this? Yeah. I said, it's like I have to fight just to get that. And for me, that's important for me. For many reasons. That's important to me. And so that, to me, that's the downside. The only time I had to fight for it that hard was DR Sasua, and probably not. So, damn Mexico, TJ. Ay. It was so hard. So, too much information, TMI, but this is real talk on your show. Sure. That's a downside, and maybe because it was in the P4P realm, right? Not in the GFE, not with a chick I was really vibing with or whatever. It was paid service. So maybe because it was paid service, Maybe they want everything covered, even the oral suction, whatever. But nah, I don't like that. And I noticed that they are very big on that out there. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Health conscious, safety conscious. Shout out to them. That don't work for me, man. That don't work. That alone will kind of strike them, because that's the whole show. Because for many reasons, and I'm not going to tell them myself, but yes, I am older. I'm an older gentleman. You can't tell. I'm an older gentleman. You kind of need to, get the car going, so to speak. And if we can't even get the car going with that, then it's kind of, we're not really going nowhere, if you understand what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Like, okay, just here, go. And if that happens too many times, then what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
If you guys are that concerned and that conscious and safety, and that's fine. That's good for you, but bad for me, right? What'd you say about the simp who proposed to the
yeah. Are you talking about the simp that proposed to the to the woman in Sosua? Yeah.
Yeah, you said it's good for her, but
for him.
Right. So I get it, I get it.
Yeah.
But it has to work for me too. And so that really didn't work. So that's my experience, and it is what it is. Now, that being said, the times that it did work, it worked.
Right.
Especially on the one that spun the block, right? The one in a hot tub, the Venezuelan from the website in a hot tub, cool, she was a vibe. The one from the street that pulled me and spun the block was a vibe. But the other ones, almost every other one, even when I got it, it was like a tussle. And it was just, yeah. Even now, when I think of that. So, yeah. It kind of derails the whole thing for me. So that's why I waited to the very end, and I probably wasn't going to bring it up if you weren't going to go there with it. But outside of that, and that's just my thing. Some guys, that's not an issue. Some guys, they prefer everything covered, right, for their own safety, right? And I get that.
Yep.
Even the oral part, they even want condom that. Shout out to them. I've never been that guy. Yeah. But if you don't like that, then they like to cover everything there. So I'm like, that kind of whack. So I get it for the sex. I get it for the sex. But for the oral part, come on, man. So yeah. But other than that, cool trip, man. Oh man.
I got you, man. I got you. Let's see. Shout out to my man Sean C, man. TSG Uncut. Definitely make sure that you do subscribe to his channel. Man, he's teetering on almost 100K, man.
Oh wow.
Uncle, when he stayed in Lima, he picked up a young 20-something Latina in college to be a lawyer. My uncle was 56. Shout out to your uncle. Hey, just make sure he don't get Shannon Sharp, man.
Right.
No sharp angles. Big Boss is an expert at this. Rello and NYC, the future should get a consultation services from him.
6 years in the game, 6-7 years in the game. Yeah, Mister. Yeah. So yeah. It's hard. It was hard to get the BBBJ out there. So, and I didn't even anticipate that. I didn't think that would be a thing. I'm like, and so we were coming from two different places. Some of them were looking at like, why do you want that? Right? Yeah,
but so I'm going
to do it, but I'm going to put the what's the name on it. We all do that down here. I said, no, not me. So we were coming from two different. I said, well, it's not going to work for me. Shout out to you. If that's what y'all get down is out here, y'all guys are very health conscious, like overly conscious on everything.
Yeah.
Germaphobe type deal. I get it. But come on, man. You got to meet me halfway.
Well, I mean, my whole thing is why would they even, why would they even promote that though? You know what I mean? And I mean, I I'm all about safety and all that stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I get it. Yeah.
But like, why promote that? You know,
What,
I just
the killer that got me was some of the ones that gave me the hardest time. They had that. These were the website ones, and the
yeah,
website girls had that listed as a service. You can't make this up.
yeah,
This is one of your services.
yeah.
What? Because I'm a gringo. Because I'm the only. I might be one of the only black guys you've been with, and I don't know about that. Putting that thing in my mouth or whatever. Because you say this is your service. When you show up, you see it's me. Now all of a sudden. So you know what? It's like, what's going on, man? So man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, I seen the website. I saw a few that were of interest.
Oh yeah, they're nice. They're nice on there. They're nice.
Oh yeah, no BBG. Cross that ish off my list.
Right?
Yeah, y'all are wild, yo.
Right? And what the hell?
No problem. And CTG.
They suck it raw. There you go. I didn't need. Hey, now I get it. I get it for the sex. So I get it for the actual intercourse. I mean, I get that. But oral, yeah, come on, man. You got to work with me. Only place that gave me issue like that was that damn Tijuana, Mexico. They shut me down. They're like, no, not for extra money. We don't even want extra money. It's just no.
I mean,
a dozen girls in a row all said no, like uniform, like a robot hive mind. They all said no. I said, what? I said, oh, this ain't working. This ain't working for me.
So I have a question, right? And all right, so how long did you know that you were going to be traveling to Lima?
I had about, well, it wasn't a whole month. I had at least a good 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
So did you
It was relatively short though.
Oh, sorry.
Normally my trips are like 2 months out, 3 months out. So this is relatively snap call.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah. So probably about 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay. So so you didn't do like any recon. You just said forget it. Like when I'm down there, I'm gonna just get active.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, I did recon. I actually had a consultation. Shout out to I believe his channel is Lima Clips. Okay. He's a Peruvian-born American.
Okay.
And he lives down there now, and he has a Creek Cam YouTube channel similar to KBS. He never shows his face. All he does is Creek Cam the chicks. So I did a consultation with him. Then I joined his group on Telegram, asked a bunch of questions. The guys who put me onto the hotel I stay at, they were down there. And so, guys say a lot of stuff, man. Shout out to the guy, because the guy who put me on, he was saying he was getting raw everything. Okay, I just said it. Boom. He said raw everything. So I don't know if it was just me or what, or maybe he was capping. But shout out, I don't think so. He seemed like a good guy. Some guys will be capping and they be whatever. So yeah. So you say, did I do research? Well, I did a consultation with a guy who lives out here. Then I joined his group on Telegram. I asked a bunch of questions. The guys who put me onto my hotel, they gave me info. So I guess that was my research. And so I get down there and I still find what I find. I found a lot of resistance to the BBJ. They're very conservative. They're still conservative in some ways. Again, I know they're not out and expressive like the Brazil and like really outward. They're kind of conservative. They do what they do. They trap, they P for P to make their money, but they're still kind of conservative. Then when it comes to the BBJ, they want everything covered for the most part, by and large. So yeah, it was just an issue. It was a hassle. It was a hassle. So
Got it. Now, for a guy who's not, for a guy that's not,
mongering.
well, I don't want to say that because remember we had that whole conversation, right? So, um, so the popular term mongering, you know what I mean? Because I remember you broke it down, right?
Right.
So the popular term mongering, you know, he goes down there and you know what I mean, like where would he go to find um a woman that's not a woman that's not like doing like P for P or GFE.
Right. Well, I'm probably not the best person to ask for that, but I would say where I went, even though I didn't quite do it. So a mall, right? Anywhere that regular women kind of tend to congregate. So this is a very interesting dynamic. That here it is. I'm 1 block away from a mall. I spent a lot of my little bit of days there inside of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I didn't come up on a non-pro. One, I didn't really try. And then, for myself, I know you're not asking me for me, you're asking like for like the hypothetical other person. But
Sure.
For myself, especially on shorter trips, one reason why I tend not to go for non-pros anyway sometimes, because they tend to take up too much of your time.
Yeah.
And depending on, it's a trip, right? The more, and I don't care about genuine because I'm trying to smash, but the more genuine connection you want, the more open you have to be, the more patient you have to be on getting the goods. You have to be patient to give it like 2 dates. You might not get it on that first date, but now you're basically back in the Matrix American mindset where you're taking chicks on dates and you hope you get it on the third date and all that kind of stuff. The whole thing, I need to go out there and get it guaranteed. So yeah, I don't want to trade one, make sure another, but that's me, blah, blah, blah. But normally out there, the women still know you're on vacation, so they're not going to play with you that long. They're not going to make you wait like 3 days.
Yeah.
But they might make you wait 2, right? They at least make you wait 2, like just the next day, like not the first day, but they hang out with you the next day, and then hang out the whole day. Because when you don't pay with money, you pay with time.
That's true. I mean, and
I'm there for 5 or 6 days. I'm not a boo lover. I'm not a boo lover. So yeah. I'm already not a boo lover, and it's a short trip for 5 days. I'm not trying to be with a non-pro that's going to suck up my vacation, and I'm basically only with her. And so, so yeah, so all of that runs in my mind while I'm out there too. So then I'm looking at it, and so I'm like, whatever, pass. But to answer your question, where would a regular guy go if he was going out there?
Yeah.
One, probably don't go to the hood where I was at. Go to Miraflores. Go to Miraflores in the tourist area where you're supposed to go.
Right.
Start there. When you go to Lima, Peru, you go to Miraflores, you go to the tourist area, and you start from there. If you go where Big Boss went, right in the hood in Mega Plaza, Independencia, there were regular chicks there. There's girls all in the mall, women in the mall. There were, but I'm on a different time zone, different mission. I'm on a different vibe. I'm just there to have fun. I'm not there for a long time. I'm there to have what? Good time. So
absolutely. No, I get it. Now, you said that you've been there 5, like you were there 5 nights, 6 days.
6 days.
Yes, correct. Okay. Now, do you plan on going back there anytime soon?
No, like I say, if it wasn't for the difficulty of the BBJ, I would say yes. For the cheap prices. So now the only way that I would go back, if I was going back with some friends or some bros who either didn't go and they wanted to go, or guys going back. I can see how it could be a fun group trip.
Yeah.
Group dynamic. Group dynamic can change everything. But for myself, yeah. But for myself, no, I wouldn't. But with that being said, with that con, I'm glad I went. I'm still glad I went. I'm glad I added it to my belt. I'm glad I could say I went. And there's some other places that I want to go kind of one time. Every place that I go, I don't need to go 5 times. I don't need to go 5 times to each place I go. Sometimes, some places I go, I probably only go once. Like, hopefully, I make it to Egypt soon. When I do Egypt, I don't plan to do Egypt like 3 times, right?
Yeah.
I go to Egypt, make sure I'm there for enough days to see the pyramids and everything. Boom, done that. Then maybe go to Rome, see the Colosseum. Boom, done that. I don't have to go back and forth to Rome or go back and forth to Italy, the Eiffel Tower. Some places you go one time to check off. So I'm glad I went. I got that experience. The food was great. I went to the brothels. I saw all the girls. I mean, the price was $15, $30. I had fun. I made the most of my little 5 days.
Yeah.
And I mostly got in what I needed to. But my thing is still this though too. You want to feel good most, if not all the time, if you're on your vacation. Even though I did eventually get done what I needed to get done, it was times where it's too much frustration in there while I'm on my trip.
Mm-hmm.
And that would stick with you in your psycho, in your mental, well after you leave. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Even after you got what you had done, you're like, hold on, I shouldn't even have to went through that. You in a way, you kind of got me messed up that I even had to go through that. Yeah, I ultimately got it. I did get it, but I went through too much BS just to get it. I don't want to even have to go through that BS. If I'm on vacation, I want to ride. I want to flow. I want to vibe. You gave me too much stiff arm resistance just to get that. And so for that, I can't mess with you no more. I'm glad I came. I had fun. The limited way, scope that I could see myself going back if I was going with some more bros and they wanted to go. I'm still going, but I'm when I do Egypt, I'm not doing Egypt obviously for the P4P activities, right? When I do Egypt, I'm doing it for the historical sites. So I mean, I get it. It's not a place I don't even plan to do a week there. That'd be a place where I do like 4 or 5 days, maybe 4 nights, 5 days.
Yeah. So Damien, like when you say like it's dirty, do you mean like the chicks are dirty, or do you just mean like the area is dirty? What what do you mean by that? Because I'm just curious. Like right. I don't know if you say like the area is dirty because
dirty.
Yeah, I mean because when people say something dirty, like you gotta understand. You gotta, I don't know if there's like an underlining meaning there. You know what I mean? Because he's saying like basically do the layover, do the long layover, going back to Kenya. Egypt is romanticized. I was disappointed.
Well, it's funny. I know this one guy, one YouTuber. It was interesting. He said he saw at least 1 or 2 sites in Egypt on a long layover. Wherever he was going in Africa, he had a layover in Egypt, and his layover is like 10 hours. Mm-hmm. So on his 10-hour layover, he actually left the airport, went and saw some pyramids and stuff, and came back and caught his flight.
Oh wow. Nice.
Right. That was some YouTuber who did that. I said, boy, that's risky. But I guess 10 hours it's long and it's not. But I know he saw at least 1 pyramid, but I think he went to multiple sites and then made it back in time for his flight. So I don't know if that's what this guy is referring to. Do the long layover, just see the site. Don't worry about Egypt. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but
Yeah. I'm gonna get to his comment too. So he said, I'm not for jumping through too many hurdles on vacation.
fact. So this is kind of summarizing what I'm saying. Like I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to go through that while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
My whole vibe, you kind of break me out of my vibe. Like I'm vibing, and then I got to go through this and pull out my phone. What are you talking about? You just said that. I just texted to you. You said okay. You said see claro. See right here. Oh, okay. What you mean? Oh, okay. You knew already. You just trying to play me like I'm stupid. But
Yeah.
but you list this as a service. You say this your own self. You list it as a service. But then when you get to the room and see it's me, I'm a black man, then I guess now you don't want to do it. But you say it's a service, but now you don't want to do it. I text you and ask you, you say okay. Now you don't want to do it. What the hell's going on here? I don't have time for games. You guys games.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just that, man. It's that right there. That stopped me from wanting to go back just on my own nilly-willy. Now I can go back with conditions. I can go back if other people is going. I can go back if it was for business. I can go back if I was doing a collab with somebody, but just on my own, for my own simple enjoyment, my own enjoyment, yeah. I won't go back just for that. So these chicks, and they don't be thinking, man. A lot of them don't be thinking. They mess up the bag. They mess up the bag and they mess up for other, but hey, shout out to them. They do what they want. Consequences. They do what they want. But nah. Yeah, that part messed it up. And I was surprised I got that much resistance on the BBBJ in a red light area. I mean, that's kind of I don't know. That was interesting. The only time I got that much resistance on that was when I was in Tijuana, Mexico. I don't even get that much resistance in Sosua. The only thing with the DR Sosua chicks would do, they would capitalize. Need more, Poppy, more. So I said 3,000 peso. Now I want 4,000 peso. I said, what? Just for that? Yeah. So, but they would do it. But they would do it.
Yeah. The finesse. Yeah. I got you. I got you.
But they would do it. But in Tijuana, Mexico, money wasn't an issue. It was like, no. I was like, wow. It was almost like that, almost in Lima. And it gave me flashbacks of Tijuana. I said, you know what? I'm not messing with this no more. I'm glad I did what I did. I had the fun while I was here. That's that. You guys got it.
Yeah. Understood, man. All right. I am getting ready to land this plane because it's almost 1 a.m. Eastern. Let's see. Yeah, the pyramids have camels and donkeys. Oh, that shit in the sand. They have projects, a lot of dirty buildings. Okay.
Of course, where they go shit somewhere. This guy, man.
Dang. I had a 15-hour layover in Egypt on my way going to Nairobi. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So, Damien, real fast, is that when you did? So, did you sneak out? Did you leave the airport on your 15 hours to go see the pyramids on your layover?
I'm assuming he did. He probably saw like camel and donkey shit. It was like,
said, man, I'm glad I only hit it on the layover. Just think if I'd have did 5 days here of this. 5 days of donkey shit.
Yeah. Damn. Nasty work. But yeah, like you said, they got a shit somewhere, bro.
They got shit somewhere. Yes, they give you a 1-day visa. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is that free? Probably not.
You know what? That might can be a way. Hey, shout out to you, Damien. That might can be, because I still want to do it now. To me, that'll take away from, you said, the romanticize for being there 3 or 4 days and going here and there. But at the end of the day, I do want to literally check it off the list and go and do it. So if I had like a 15, 20-hour layover and just went and saw a couple of sites and got back and went to the turnip, Kenya or South Africa, that'd be enough for me. So you put something on my mind, man. Thank you.
Interesting. Leave the airport. They provide you a hotel room for the layover. Oh, wow. That's cool. Okay.
What? Oh, man, this is game. And you know what? So most likely, shout out to you. This is probably what that YouTuber did, right? He didn't make it sound like this. So the YouTuber had put it out. He probably did this right here, what you said. But when he made his video, he made it seem like, okay. So this is probably a thing. Okay, that's what's up. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, it seems like you can knock off, two birds with one stone right there.
Two birds with one stone. At least get it done, right? At least get it done.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's cool. So it seems like you had a cool experience, but as you mentioned, it's something where like if you're gonna spin the block, you would have your bros there, or it would have to be like, if Double R said, hey, you know what? Look, Big Boss, screenshot. I actually bought my ticket this time. Let's.
I don't know. Maybe anybody else.
I don't know.
Anybody else for Razor Ray's kind of burnt his bridge with that one. Maybe Kings and Dreams. Maybe Kings and Dreams.
Okay, fair enough.
But
yeah.
Ray's kind of burnt his bridge on that one. But shout out to Razor Ray.
Hey, Double R, man. I tried to look out for you.
Yeah, he burned his bridge. That's my guy, though.
Yeah, Big Boss said, nah, B.
Burn me once, shame on me. Or you. Something like that. I don't know. Shame. Man. But yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, like I say, I can go back. But funny, I'm like that with DR Sasua, though, right? I realize DR Sasua still has some kind of value, some kind of ways.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just talking for me. For me to go to DR Sasua, it would have to be other extenuating circumstances. I won't book a trip solo just for my own enjoyment, just so I can go to Sasua. No. But I would go to Sasua if a lot of the bros were going there because it's convenient for everybody. So I can link up with some of my guys who I haven't seen in a while, who live in the East Coast, who live down south. Hey, we all gonna go down to DR Sasua for this weekend. So I can do that, right?
Yeah.
And then while you're there, of course, you're gonna get it in however you can. You're gonna make it work. But just on my own accord, I won't book Sasua just for myself. So I'm like that now with Lima. I wouldn't just necessarily book Lima again just to go. And that's a shame because the price is right. The price is right. The food is good. But just that one element alone is enough for me because I need that. Oh, man.
Hey, I definitely, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I respect it. Like when it comes to Sosua, I know brothers that have a lot of businesses there. So I would, I would go to Sosua, hang out with the bros, check out the bros business or whatever. But but after that, I'm going right to Santo Domingo. I mean, listen, shout out to all my P for P guys and all that. And I know there's a lot of y'all in the chat. I always say there's no shame to you guys or whatever. You know what I mean? I actually think one of the most responsible things is when Big Boss said that he went to the Casas. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. You know what I mean? Like, because as you guys say, like the street meat, like you don't know if this chick be trying to set you up or anything, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what happened to our man QB? Well, I don't think it was street meat though. I think
that one. No, it wasn't street meat. Again, no,
that wasn't street meat. No,
it was tender.
Oh no! But yeah, it was an.
It was tender, and they were regular non-pro chicks.
So but they were Colombian and they
exactly. They were Colombians in Ecuador.
Yeah, nah, nope.
Yeah, exactly. So don't. I know you're trying to land a plane.
Yeah.
So don't get me started on that. On the dangers, on the hidden dangers of the so-called non-pros.
I mean, you know what? I think it's danger. you know, in full transparency, I think that is danger everywhere. But you know what I mean. You know, like what I was saying, like okay, like my P for P guys or whatever. I think like the most safest thing that you could do is like go to the casas or whatever, because the thing is that this is a place of business, and they and they want customers to keep coming back.
Exactly.
If a customer ends up getting robbed or scoped or whatever, like it's over for that fucking
Right
business.
inside the business, yeah.
Right inside the business, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So you know what I
You're
mean.
right.
You guys could go in there and.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
What did OJ Duke Jackson say? What did OJ Duke Jackson say? Booty clapping sounds.
Right. Yep. Handle your business. You know what I mean?
Booty clapping it up.
You ain't got to
worry. We all grown here. We all grown on this side of YouTube. So yeah, that's right.
Right. You ain't got to worry about nobody, robbing you or nothing like that. You know what I mean? When you go to the dating apps, or if you go to street meet, as you guys say, you guys are just putting yourself at a higher risk. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, I get it. I'm a red-blooded male, man. So I understand, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, I just think casas are the best place to go. Because, when you said that you went to like 2 different casas, in my mind, I was like, yeah, big boss, this is good. I'm like, you being safe.
But it's funny you say that. I go to casas all the time. I always go to casas. But see, I'm a mixture. I do a lot. Like when I'm in Brazil, oh man, I love the casas in Brazil. Those are the day casas that be up in them office buildings, and inside, from the outside it looks like a real office building, and even inside they have like the different suites, and it might be a doctor's office and a lawyer's office, but on this floor in this room, exactly a whole brothel operation embedded inside a real business building. Crazy shit. Those be the best places.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy stuff. It's like a real office building. You go inside, there's a security guard in front. They have the little placard with all the different businesses that's renting the suites inside that office building. It's a doctor's office, it's a lawyer's office, it's an accounting firm, and it's a brothel. So the guys that work there, that work in the building, where they go in their lunch hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's literally it's embedded inside the office building. Those be the best ones in Brazil. So I do casas and brothels. What I normally do, my routine in a lot of these countries are the same. I kind of do the brothels and casas kind of in the daytime.
Yeah.
That's my day activity. And at night, then I try to pull from the nightlife, depending on what country, club or bar, and or street or online. I mix it up. I mix and match and make it work.
I hear that. Okay, so if you fly Qatar Airlines, you'll see Doha. Hopefully I said that right. Fly Emirates, you'll see Dubai. Ethiopian Airlines, Ethiopian Airlines, you get it. If you pardon me, if you got time, stretch your layover, enjoy the perks of travel. Yeah,
man, that's game is game.
Yeah, man, good stuff, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good stuff right there, man.
I might actually literally do that later this year, because when I went to Africa last year, that was the original plan, was to do Egypt and do Kenya. But the way my pockets were set up, because 2 months prior, I just did Thailand with my brother.
Yeah.
That kind of took away some of my available funds.
Yeah.
It was worth it though. It was worth it because I did a trip with my brother.
Yeah.
But had I not did that trip, I would have had a bigger war chest, a bigger budget.
Yeah.
And so this year I told my brother, unless he's going to Brazil, I'm gonna let my brother go where he wants on his own, because I trust him now since we did a trip together. I will have to save the money for my birthday trip.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You know, because
Yeah,
at
man.
least for me, you know, it's finite, limited resources. It's not unlimited. So if I spend some over here, it's going to take away from over here.
Right.
But I made the tactical call because this is my brother for his first time, so I wanted to go to Asia with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up costing me half of my Africa trip. So,
Gotcha.
mm-hmm.
Understood, man. Understood. You know, and on that note, you know, what is next for Bossy as far as travel goes, man?
Man, well, again, it's slow motion for the most of this year, man. These next few months, gonna be home based, US based, and I'm charging up all the way to the end of the year for my birthday, October.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting Africa. The big ambitious goal, is to do Egypt and Kenya and South Africa. And when I do Kenya, not only do I want to hit Nairobi, I also want to hit Mombasa. So that's two cities. That's two cities in Kenya. When I go to South Africa, I want to hit at least two cities: the Johannesburg, and now either Cape Town or Durban. In the perfect world, I would hit all three. But now we're talking hitting two cities in Kenya and three cities in South Africa. 5 cities plus Egypt, 6 places. My money ain't that long, man. So I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. You got to get it where you fit in. I get it, bro. I get it. Man. Yeah,
but definitely Africa. I'm going back to Africa in October.
Yeah. So for me, I actually mentioned this when I came back to YouTube. I don't know if you know, but Big Boss, but I had basically took like a 4-month hiatus.
Oh wow.
Well, off of doing live stream. So what I would do is like I would upload like video clips, you know, and little shorts or whatever. But like as far as like me being live, I like last month was when I actually came back. I hadn't done a live since like December.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, but yet your channel still grew.
Yeah, and thankfully, man, and I truly appreciate the supporters, man. It was just like, you know, I just had like 3 shorts that just kept getting traction, and I actually have like a short that and I posted this short like last year and early last year, and like now like it started to get traction, you know, and
that's weird, huh?
Yeah,
it takes the same short sat there for a whole year and didn't do nothing. And 12, 13 months later, it kicks up.
Yeah, you know,
interesting.
It's crazy how like, you know, it's crazy how like how this algorithm is. You know, people could say like they have like hacks and stuff like that, and yeah, I think maybe people may have like a bit of a clue, but no one really knows like the algorithm, man. You know what I mean?
This thing is so.
Yeah. Cause like there will be like a video like I'll post and I'll be like, you know, I don't think this is gonna do well. And then I see like, oh shit, this they got like 2K views, and I'm like, what? You know, and I'm like, and then something I think is gonna hit, you know, got like 100 views, and I'm like, yo, this is nasty work. Like, you know, so I don't know, man. I don't know. But the only thing I do is, man, you know, I just keep throwing shit at the wall and just, you know, and hoping everything sticks, man. That's it.
See what sticks.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, you keep at it, man. That's what's up. I'm about to join you. I'm about to get back on this YouTube horse. You know, I took a super long hiatus, but
yeah,
I'm still in the game, man. I'm finally going good. I'm finally going to Thailand in 3 weeks for my 43rd birthday. I'll be there 2 months. Wow. Then Nairobi, Mombasa for New Year's. I love the Niash, Big Boss. Yeah, Mombasa. I need to hit Mombasa, man. When I went to that so at least that was my plan, because when I was in Kenya last year, I was there for 2 weeks. I was there for 15 days.
Yeah.
Out of the 15 days, I was going to do 1 week Nairobi, 1 week Mombasa, some variation. But my buddy came to help celebrate my birthday, which was dope. He surprised me. He flew all the way to Africa on his own dime to celebrate. That was great.
That's really cool, bro.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
But I hate to say the but it stopped me from leaving Nairobi to go to Mombasa. So, you know, I'm kicking it and chilling with him because he spent his money to come out there and hang out.
Right.
I wanted to go to Mombasa, but he's there. I was like, So, you know, bittersweet. So this time I'm just going to Mombasa. If somebody come and spend their money and come, hey, it is what it is. You come. I'm not going to miss Mombasa this time.
Yeah, you just say, all right, you want to fly, hang out with me for my birthday? Hey, listen, beat me in Mombasa, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm not going to have that happen twice. Shout out to him. You know, I don't want to say that to make him feel away because he spent all that money and we had fun. It was dope. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't mess me up, because that was my plan. I was going to jump off to see Mombasa, because Mombasa is on the beach, it's on the coast, and that's like their like red light Sasua. And I wanted to see the African Sasua, and I couldn't go because my friend came. Man.
Yeah.
I'm going this year though.
Yeah. So for me, my travel plans, and I mentioned this to my audience when I first came back. So the week before 4th of July, you know, I'm going to a undisclosed location. I won't let you guys know when I'm there. You know, I'll tell you behind the scenes, but
all right,
yeah, I'm not going to tell the audience.
Secret information. Secret information. I'm gonna let you know.
And then and then right after Thanksgiving, I'm going to Africa, and I'm stuck between Tanzania or Ethiopia.
No Kenya, huh? Not even Kenya right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up Kenya because I want to check Austin out.
Austin, yeah,
I want to check Austin out or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I keep seeing like the beautiful women in Ethiopia and Tanzania, and I'm like, whoa, you know. I know Kenya has like the good, like, you know, turn up, you know what I mean? So, you know, so what I'll probably do is maybe do like, you know, maybe do like a long weekend, you know, turn up that weekend, and then, you know what I mean? Kind of, you know, tone it down and, you know, bring it to Ethiopia, Tanzania, something like that. You know what I mean? Another place I'm going to hit up, I don't know if a lot of brothers went, but Morocco. Oh, yo, man, a few years ago, I was talking to this Moroccan chick but she lived here in the States, but my goodness, the body was crazy. I'm like, I gotta go to Morocco and see what's up out there, man.
So I have a guy, pretty much a coworker. He was actually my boss, my supervisor on my job. He's not with the company no more.
Oh, but, I know the dude you're talking about.
Yeah, and he has a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that grew. Citizens Edge. He went to Morocco. He got a wife out there, and she is fine. Yeah, shout out to Citizen Edge. Yeah, and his channel grew too. His channel is a lot bigger now.
Oh wow.
Yes, Citizens Edge. He was my supervisor on my job. And
does he live in Morocco?
No. He's back out here. No. Now he went and got a wife and brought her back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he shows her on his page. Some of the video, like when he shows her, she's on some shorts. You know, he don't really put her in his full videos.
Oh yeah, that's smart. I was gonna say, yeah.
But no, he shows her a little bit on his shorts. Yeah, but she's nice. He went to Morocco, got him a wife. So
that was one thing we talked about. We talked about last night. One well, one of the guys on the panel, and I'm not going to say his name, but we were talking about it afterwards, after the show, and and he was saying that like he did videos with his ex girlfriend, and that was his girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And dudes basically was kicking his back in, and like they was like sending her, like, I guess they found like her social media or whatever, and so they ended up like sending messages like with like him, like he was walking with another girl, but this was way before they had met. Yeah, so this is way before they had met, way before they had dated, but they made it seem like it was
it was
right,
current.
right. They made it seem like it was current or whatever, and then and so she just got like super jealous, and she was just kind of like on his helmet, like, you know what I mean, like, like whatever chick, like, like if he could just be like speaking to like a random person, like if he's doing like a video or something, and there's like a woman on the video that he's talking to, not even like trying to kick it with,
right.
She's just flying off the handles, like, so it just messed that whole relationship up. So long story short, I understand why your man is not, showing his wife in long form content, because the thing is, like, unless like your woman is like a content creator as well, don't show her off. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because because I understand, like, big bro Andre, like Andrea, like she's a content creator. She has her own, you know what I mean? But like, like with my ex, man, like I remember we were in a WhatsApp group and I posted her and you messaged me right away. You said, "Yo, that's your John." I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this vividly.
I kind of remember, yeah. I kind of remember.
And you was like, "Yo," like, "That's your girl for real?" And I was like, "Yeah." You was like, "Yo, delete that now." I was like, "All right, cool."
At least you listen. Like, shout out to Kings and Dreams know how to listen.
Oh man, because he was like, "Yo, hell no, don't do that. Don't do that." Oh yeah, man,
these guys something else, man, in these groups.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, I know your birthday's October 31st, so
it's my day of birth. I went to the party and did the Smurf.
Yeah, so you going out to Africa, and then I'll be in Africa probably that Monday right after Thanksgiving, and so I'll be out there for 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to see if I can push it to 3, but
right. I'm already just gonna do 3, and I'm gonna see if I could push it to 4. That's gonna like move heaven and earth. But
yeah, see, that's the thing. I wouldn't be able to push it to 4 because I can't. I can't miss Christmas because my son's birthday. Friday. So yeah, so I'm.
You couldn't. You literally couldn't. Yeah, exactly.
So I haven't. As of next week Friday, I'm gonna have an 11-year-old, and he's not gonna stand. Yeah, I know, right?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
You still play football? You still playing football? You still coaching?
Man, let me tell you, yes, man. Let me tell you, man, he's playing sports all year round. Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I took the hiatus because because he plays travel football, he plays fall football, winter football, and again travel football, and then now he's playing basketball, he's playing AAU,
that's what's up, man.
Summer tournaments, yeah. So
got you little super soldier athlete.
Yeah, man, and then he also does karate. So he actually just got his purple belt. Yeah, man. So
wow,
he's working, man. He's working. Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah. That's the signs of a good father, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
you giving me the Uncle D vibe. Shout out to Blizzard King.
Man. Yeah, man. Definitely. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he did a great job with his boys.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, big boss. Hey, man, listen, man. Again, man, I'm always giving you flowers, man. Always great conversations. I definitely appreciate, you being on here, man, and talking about Lima, Peru. I think I'm gonna go down there and check it out. I just got to figure out.
I think it's worth the spin, man. Everything is cheap, economical. Food is great. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think I could go on some dates with some nice ladies, man.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
If that's your mind frame, to go on some dates with some cool chicks, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure it's there. Especially in the tourist area. They be ready. They be ready to date you, American gringo.
Yeah, no, but I'm looking for the
stuff.
Peruvian John though. I'm not looking for like I'm not saying. I mean, I like Venezuelans and and I like chicks from different countries. But like if I'm in Peru, I want to date a
You
Peruvian.
want the Peruvian, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I get it.
you know what I mean, yeah.
You want homegrown.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah. And they have some homegrowns that are nice. But kind of the rule of thumb, unfortunately, across the board. So you know.
Yep. Understood, man. Understood. Any last words, man, for the people, Big Boss?
Oh man. Well, it's big boss don't take no loss. That's my words. But shout out to everybody watching in the YouTube world. Both streams on Kings of Dream stream, who channel this on, and those who are watching on my channel as I'm dual streaming it. Thank you guys for watching. You could be anywhere, but you kicking it and hanging out with the king and the boss. Oh man, real talk. Oakland.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Hold up. Okay. Let me read this one thing he said.
It's all good.
Tanzania has Dar es Salaam, which is really small and beautiful. Zanzibar. Ethiopia looks better, hands down, but they don't speak English. Need a translator. Kenya, your best bet. They speak English. You know what, man? I'm the type of guy, like, you know how like when people play like video games, they like to play like the easy level. I'm the type of dude when I play video games, I put that shit on level, like the hardest level, and I just out. That's it, man.
It's die right away.
You're right. You're right.
The hell with that, man. I'll put it on medium, normal.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
So so I'm gonna add my 2 cents. The one thing I hear about Ethiopians and Eritreans, obviously they're very pretty, very beautiful.
Sure.
But their society, especially if you try to catch them in their country and not abroad in another country, neighboring country, when they're at home, that society is locked down. Talk about conservative. And ain't gonna be a whole lot going on there. And even when you catch them outside of the country, they could be a little more open, but they're still kind of conservative. And I hear that, man, I don't know. It's pretty and beautiful as they are in the face, that I hear that some of them are whack in the bedroom, man. That's what I hear across the board.
Oh, shit.
Bunch of several different guys that don't know each other all say the same thing in different groups. I like starfish and just not the most like giving. I'm like, what? But pretty as hell. They're pretty as hell, but they're kind of this enclosed and conservative and this kind of, I'm like, they don't really have that turnip in them. They ain't got that dog in them, man. So
that's okay. That's okay, man. That's okay. I'm here to teach.
There you go. Hey. There you go. They fine. They fine as hell.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, man.
You like hard mode. You like hard mode. So yeah. There you go.
Exactly. There you go. Man, listen, man. I don't worry about that starfish. Trust me. Don't worry.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not too concerned about starfishism anyway, though. Because guess what? Starfish still getting poked. Oh man! So hey. I was never the one to trip on that too much anyway.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, for sure. Oh man. All right. Guys, we go close this out, man. Listen, man. Thank you for watching. whatever side you want, Big Boss side, my side, definitely appreciate y'all. I will be back tomorrow night with my man Kevin. We are talking about dating in Medellin. Is it actually dead? That is a triple entendre, and we are going to have.
Is it dead?
Yeah, man. So tune in. Hold on, let me gather. Big Boss caught me off guard with that. All right, so tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Colombian time, which will be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Mountain. So definitely check me out tomorrow night with my man Kevin. This is your man Kings and Dreams, along with my guest Big Boss. Real talk. Stay purposeful, and we are out. Peace.
And that's real talk. Oh man.